conservatively to fence Pakistan off from Punjab. This is a big cost, viewers, but unfortunately we have undertaken it and it is going to provide us very little relief. Viewers, that's because it's the enemy within that we need to be more worried about today than a terrorist crossing the border from Pakistan. The threat today is posed by this man on your screens. Right in the middle of your screens is the photograph of an individual called Amritpal Singh. He's a Bhindranwale-inspired Sikh Khalistan separatist who, under the aegis of his group, Waris Punjab Day, has launched, viewers, an all-out war on the Indian state. And those pictures in the middle of your screens, viewers, tell you a little bit about the nature of the aggression India is facing. India is today a highly militarized power. We have the capacity to neutralize threats to state security deep into enemy territory. But we don't have any defense against our own politicians who think that they were elected to serve their own interests first and not those of the Indian state. Our politicians have allowed for blatantly vote bank compulsions Amritpal Singh to give speeches in favor of carving out a separate state called Khalistan and for praising slain Khalistan terrorist Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, who waged an almost decade-and-a-half long war against successive Indian governments. Today, because of the lack of political will and perhaps political collusion, Amritpal Singh has had the temerity, viewers, to cross all Lakshman Rekhas. In a move unprecedented, even for a once militancy-racked state like Punjab, Amritpal Singh, leading a mob of armed supporters, laid siege to a police station because he wanted to free his close aide detained for kidnapping. Viewers, he was, and his entire group was armed to the teeth. They all appeared. They were allowed to appear onto the streets. Viewers, this is the same country where in the south, if you come out in protest in favor of a Jawan slain by VIP arrogance, you will be detained and booked. But viewers, those that wage war against our Indian state, it's the same country where in another state, viewers, they're given a complete free run. The enemies of the state are given a free run. Those standing up for the braves who defend the state are abused and prosecuted. That's the state of affairs. Viewers, this man, Amritpal Singh, to the left of your screens, bashed down police barricades, clashed with the police. Several policemen are injured. I'll show you those pictures. Raining lathis, swords, all sorts of armaments on the motley assembly, viewers, of police. He then walks up casually to a police station, ring fences the police station with his goons, and gives a 1-hour ultimatum to the government, saying that if they don't cancel the FIR registered against his aide in 1 hour, the administration will be responsible for whatever ensues next. Well, what happened next was shocking to the core. Viewers, first listen in to Amritpal's threat to the Punjab Sarkar, where he puts them on notice. Listen to this.
ये अपील है प्रशासन नूं भी ये काम चंगा नहीं ਸੰਗਤ ਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਾ ਹੈ। ਇੱਥੇ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੜ ਆਇਆ ਪਿਆ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਣ ਦਾ ਫਰਜ਼ ਹੈ। ਸਾਡੀ ਜਥੇਬੰਦੀ ਦੇ ਮੇਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਗੁਰਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਬੁੱਕਣ ਵਾਲਾ, ਬਸੰਤ ਸਿੰਘ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਵੇਰ ਦਾ ਨਜ਼ਰਬੰਦ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ। ਹੁਣ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਾਸੀ ਹੋਣ ਦਾ ਨਤੀਜਾ ਹੈ। ਅਗਲਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਜੀ, ਨਾਲੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਗੁਲਾਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਵਤੀਰਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਉਹ ਥਾਣੇਦਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਹਿਤਾ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਹਿਤਾ, ਗੁਰਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੁਣੀ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਗੇ। ਬਸੰਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਛੁਡਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਗੇ। ਸਾਰੇ ਜਥੇਬੰਦੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਗੇ। ਸ਼ਾਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੀਵਾਨ ਸਜਣਗੇ, ਕੀਰਤਨ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਤੇ ਸ਼ਾਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੰਬੋਧਨ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ।
Who is this character wagging a finger at the Indian state, viewers? Look at his temerity, his audacity. After a protracted standoff, and after the police were given a thrashing, and subsequent to this warning, the state of Punjab, in an act of extreme cowardice, agreed to his demand and are now pledging to release his aide who is wanted for kidnapping. To be specific, the Punjab police under the AAP Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann has announced that Amritpal's aide will be released in accordance with this individual's wishes. Because it's surprising. Listen to this.
So, sir, what is the final outcome? We have seen there is a lot
outcome is the person we have arrested in this case. These people, they have given us a sufficient evidence that he is not present on the spot. So we are going to discharge him tomorrow, and the rest sit has been formed. And whatever the outcome of the sit will be, so we'll take action accordingly.
A lot of questions are being raised over the police. Why he was arrested? Because today Amritpal, he has clearly said that he is coming here. If there is anything against him, he can be arrested here. So why he was arrested by the police?
So as I have said, during investigation, evidence is on the file. So now the evidence which these people they have given, it is in his favor. So we're going to discharge him.
A few days ago, the Chief Minister, Bhagwant Mann, was asked why the Khalistani sympathizer, this Amritpal chap, was still free. Mann avoided the question and instead merely appealed to Amritpal to behave rationally. Clearly for Mann, the lives of his police force, the honor of our country, is of secondary consequence, viewers. Anyone with an iota of self-respect, especially if you're the Chief Minister of a state, of an Indian state, viewers, I mean, we are one of the most powerful countries on the face of this earth. Would you want to be arm-twisted, blackmailed, made to look weak, insignificant, inconsequential? I mean, think about it. Let's listen to Bhagwant Mann.
Punjab ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਦੀ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਬੌਂਡਿੰਗ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਲਈ ਮੰਨੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਾਤਾਂ ਪਾਤਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਧਰਮਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਮਨੁੱਖਤਾ ਦਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਵੀ ਮਨੁੱਖਤਾ ਦਾ ਸੁਨੇਹਾ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ 3 ਕਰੋੜ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੁਣਿਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੱਕ 'ਚ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਲੈ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਬਾਕੀ ਲਾਅ ਐਂਡ ਆਰਡਰ ਜਿੱਤਾ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਬਿਲकुल सही है, कंट्रोल च है।
Law and order sahi hai. We have been elected by 3 crore people, so obviously things are fine in Cuckoo Land. But banish the thought, viewers, of Amritpal slinking away quietly into oblivion. He's tasted blood. Under the Punjab government, Amritpal's group in December last year vandalized the Kapurthala Gurdwara. A video of sword-wielding men belonging to his group was seen running amok on the streets of Punjab. Just few days later, Amritpal's men even vandalized the Jalandhar Gurdwara. Not just kidnapping or vandalism, this group is also linked to the murder of Shiv Sena leader Sudhir Suri. Viewers, there's a big problem in the state of Punjab. And the time has come that someone looks at the situation closely and does something about it. Viewers, it appears that for compulsions related to politics, the state government is not willing to play hardball with separatists. In this scenario, can we just sit back and allow Punjab to slip back into another cycle of terrorism? Viewers, during the last cycle, we all remember very clearly, some of us were children, we were told, do not touch teddy bears and transistors lying casually in parks because they blow up, they kill you. Viewers, in the heart of the capital, in Connaught Place, cinema houses, restaurants were targeted. The ripples were felt. The heart of the Union capital. Do we want to go back there again? Who was going to step in? In 1983, the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi dismissed her own party's government, a Congress government under Darbara Singh, for not being able to step up to the Khalistani challenge. Viewers, that wasn't the only instance when the centre interceded. In May 1987, Rajiv Gandhi government dismissed the Surjit Singh Barnala Akali government, citing deteriorating law and order on account of insurgency. In 1990, viewers, VP Singh government imposed president's rule, sacking Farooq Abdullah's government when Islamist terrorists ran riot in Kashmir and led a genocide against Hindus. Now, viewers, we're not advocating similar action right now, but can the centre today totally pretend that the return of militancy in Punjab, that the first serious indications of it are none of its business? Wouldn't that be a massive betrayal of the idea of Bharat? These are some fundamental questions, viewers, and they need to be asked without fear or favour. And I want to first begin with Aam Aadmi Party supporters, card-carrying members, Huda Zariwala, Hakeem Rizwan Ilahi. I want to begin with Huda Zariwala first. Ms. Zariwala, in the state of Punjab, a self-professed, publicly declared separatist walks up to a police station with a bunch of his goons, surrounds it, secures the release of one of his aides, and is going to quietly walk away. This is reminiscent, viewers, of spaghetti westerns, of the type we only thought existed on silver screen. Huda Zariwala, what is your chief minister doing? Why should he be in office if Mr. Maan has given way to the writ of these thugs? If they are ruling the state, why are we bothered with him?
Good evening, Rahul ji. Yes, absolutely. The law and order situation in Punjab is a matter of concern, not just for the citizens of Punjab, but for all of India. Now, that being said, this man that we're talking about, Amritpal, has managed to create a lot of ruckus, and obviously his actions will be taken into due cognizance. But at the same time, since they yes, ruckus, vandalization, all of that, nobody is denying it. Neither is the Punjab police denying it, neither is the Chief Minister denying it. Now, that being said, a lot of things basically proof against him, the allegations that are levied against him, things that have yet to be proven in the court of law, will all be taken into due cognizance, and of course action, the necessary action is going to be taken
just asking you a simple question.
This is a chief minister who takes the law and order situation.
Listen, seriously, is it? No, hang on. Ms. Zariwala, a bunch of thugs, and you're seeing them on your own screen there, right in front of your face, walks up to a police station, surrounds the police station, gives the police an ultimatum, the state squeaks, tucks its tails between its leg and releases the person. And you're telling me that Bhagwant Maan is on top of the situation?
At this point, the safety of at this point, the safety of the citizens of Punjab is of a much bigger importance to the government of Punjab, to Bhagwat Manji.
Yeah, but if a man is roaming around the streets with a sword, shouldn't he be arrested? That's how you'll ensure the safety of the citizens, ma'am.
Absolutely, and the state is going to take due course of action. This is not a matter that has been buried and brushed under the carpet.
After they release the person.
This is very much a matter of concern.
Hang on, just a minute.
Police is very much.
Why should we trust you? Huda Zariwala, why should we trust you? This has been building. This man is not. No, hang on, he hasn't appeared out of some razai overnight. He has been actually very brazenly talking about splitting Punjab from the Indian Union. He's been talking about Khalistan. He's been talking about waging war on the Indian state. He's been daring you to do things to him, i.e. putting behind bars. You're not acting. Why? Fundamental question. Are you today nursing your vote bank more than the country?
Absolutely not. And the issue of Khalistan by far remains one of the biggest concerns for the government of Punjab.
Really?
Clearly, the police and the government is not sitting, haath pe haath dharke and allowing all sorts of negativity to happen. At this point in time, the safety of the citizens was a much bigger concern than to hover around a man who, yes, is definitely something that the Punjab government has
Let me ask you a simple question. Let me ask you a simple question. 1 second. Huda Zariwala, let me test you tonight. Have you heard of a person called Simranjeet Singh Mann?
Sure.
You know him? Do you know of him? He's a member of parliament. Do you know that in all his public utterances, he has called for the creation of a state of Khalistan? Do you believe that he should be sitting in our parliament? Straight question to you tonight.
The question of Khalistan was...
Madam, do you believe that a man, excuse me,
any question is going to agree?
Huda Zariwala, simple question and just give me a straight answer. Don't say but or anything else. Just come straight, yes, no. Do you think a person who advocates for Khalistan should be a member of parliament? Yes, no.
At this point, I am going to say that we are talking about a government of India with the likes of Adani and Ambani
we are talking about a government, Adani and Ambani. Can you believe it, viewers?
There is nothing
you
more
can't bring yourself. I'll tell you why, viewers. They can't bring themselves. I'll tell you why. Because the area. No, 1 minute. I'll tell you why. There is a very simple, and I'll give you the facts.
Is that not also
our research team is working double time.
No,
we will give you the research. One second, Huda Zariwala, one second. We will tell you, excuse me, ma'am, don't speak over me, please. I don't speak over you. I ask you my questions after you finish. Don't speak over me. I don't like it. And our viewers don't appreciate it. Now, viewers, I'm going to give you 2 basic facts that will prove why Amritpal has become a touch-me-not. Because the area of Punjab where he comes from is where the Aam Aadmi Party wins the maximum number of seats. And they believe today, viewers, that if they go after him, they will lose public support, and that's the reason. It's as simple as that. I want to bring in Dr. Suman C. Raman. Dr. Raman, in the state that you come from, in the state where you come from in Tamil Nadu, a person who waged war on the Indian state was convicted for that crime and served time in jail. Was freed after a huge hue and cry was made about his human rights, and when he was released, viewers, he was embraced by the Chief Minister. What do you put that down to, if not appeasement? And why should we believe that that is not true in the case of Amritpal Singh in another opposite end of the country in Punjab? Simple question to you.
Rahul, by all accounts, this is not an issue which is exclusively that of the state government to manage. So this is not an AAP government versus BJP government issue. This could be a matter of national security, in which case everybody needs to work together and deal with it. So this kind of tu meme is not the right approach. Point number one. Point number two, the objective seems to be twofold. One, to polarize one community and divide another community. And who could be the beneficiary from that? I want to draw your attention, Rahul, to the statements made by members of the Haryana Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee, which comes under the Haryana government. Some of its senior members have heaped praise on Amritpal Singh. This comes under the Haryana government. And in last, I think it was about 2 or 3 months back, they were hailing him as some kind of a savior. So you've got to ask the question, who is behind propping up this man?
No, 1 second.
And what,
you
why
use
on
the term.
earth should the Aam Aadmi Party government...
Okay, doctor, you use the term polarize one
I'm asking
and
the
divide
question,
another.
who is behind him?
Fair enough. 1 second. Polarize one and divide another is a phrase that you use. Can you be more specific? Which community is being polarized and which one is being divided?
Okay, the attempt at least, and this is something which even the media has commented on, seems to be to create a divide among the Sikh community itself, because there are a large number of members of the Sikh community who do not see eye to eye with this person. So there is a division which is being created there. At the same time, the rise of quote unquote a kind of a militant kind of identity is bound to polarize the Hindus. So you've got to ask yourself a very, very serious question: who will benefit from the rise of Amritpal Singh? And then work your way backwards to try and deal with that situation accordingly. Okay. And it's sad that we are going around in circles with this blame game of trying to score some points against Bhagwant Mann.
What you're saying is
when logically he would have no reason to destabilize his own government.
Okay, so what you're saying is that Narendra Modi, sitting at the center, has hatched a massive conspiracy to prop up this creature, Amritpal Singh.
I never said that. I'm asking, I'm raising a question.
You're basically implying that by asking that question.
Don't put words into my mouth.
So I never said it. So why are you saying, hang on. Why are you saying?
I'm not implying.
Okay, 1 second.
I am asking who benefits.
Who benefits? Why don't you answer the question? Why don't you answer the question? Let me.
You tell me. You tell me, Rahul. I'm only raising a rhetorical question.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Give us the answer to solving the riddle.
I'll tell you what. The country that benefits is Pakistan. The country that benefits are those that putatively think they are working to create Khalistan. They are the ones who benefit, viewers, from this claptrap. And you have conspiracy theorists sitting in studios who talk this nonsense without proof and don't have the guts to name people because they know they will be called out. So they leave it. They drop
Rahul,
through dog whistling. They leave.
Would you like?
They leave the whiff. They leave the whiff of conspiracy. Well, sir, do you know right now? If you go to the SGPC in the heart of Amritsar, you know what you will see? You will see Bhindranwala's photo. And do you know the government that actually called for the removal of it? Should I give you that? You will not know the answer to that because you don't want to know the answer to that. Nonetheless, Sanju Verma, I began by saying that the center cannot look away either. And the charge that is being made through a nudge, wink, dog whistling way by Dr. Raman is that you gain the most. You gain the most. So why are you sitting on the sidelines? Look at the 3 examples that I quoted of Indira Gandhi and one of VP Singh. Moved in, got rid of a particular government that couldn't handle law and order. This is not just law and order. This is about state security. So I'm asking you today, are you going to sit on the fence until when?
You know, Rahul, you asked me a pointed question and with no ifs or buts whatsoever. Let me be very clear that if anyone knows anything about the Modi government and Home Minister Amit Shah in particular, sitting on the fence without taking a clear position is not something that you can associate them with. Point number one. Point number two, when last year we banned PFI and carried out raids in over 27 states and seized their bank accounts over 100 locations, it was done so systematically and effectively that the PFI had to actually constitutionally say that it has dissolved itself. So much for those who say that this government pussyfoots when it comes to separatists. I will now give you one more fact. You know, this whole narrative that the Modi government is soft on terror, when you were showing this clip of Amritpal Singh, who was standing in solidarity with his colleague, Lovepreet Singh Tufani, he said, "Enanu lagda assi kisi joge nahi hai. Je Kazakhstan ban sakda hai, Pakistan ban sakda hai, Afghanistan ban sakda hai, to fir Khalistan kyun nahi? Par Amit Shah nu assi chhaddange nahi, je ine ehja ravaiya apnaya." You know, the full clip is quite long. He basically says, we'll not leave Amit Shah if he continues with the approach. That is an anti-Khalistan approach. And if we can have, separate countries like Pakistan, Afghanistan, what have you, why not Khalistan? And he also tells your reporter, it is my democratic right to ask for a separate country. So, Mr. Amritpal Singh, please go and read Article 51A of the Constitution, which clearly says that you need to uphold territorial integrity as a citizen. I will just say this, Rahul. Let us be very clear. You put BJP in the dockyard, that's your, right as a journalist. But let's be very clear that today what we are seeing in Punjab, it was in March 2022 that Bhagwant Singh Mann became the chief minister. It's going to be almost a year now in the next couple of days. And you look at the institutionalization of the Bhindranwale syndrome, starting with the murder in broad daylight of Sidhu Singh Nishaan in May 2022 to the kind of small blasts in Mohali, Fazilka, Taran. Who do you think is the agency which has stopped?
Right. Now, let me tell you, Ms. Verma, 1 second. Let me tell you.
Taran. It is the NIA. It is, the Border Security Force. It's not the Punjab Police. I want to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
The Constitution under Article 245 clearly says there is a division of powers between the center and the states, and the 7th schedule of the Constitution says law and order, including police, are subject matters in the state list. You question the Modi government, well, it is fine by you to do so. But why is it that nobody is questioning Bhagwant Singh Mann, who's given a free run and intellectual
Sanju Verma, please. We've started by questioning both sides equally. I was very persistent with my line of questioning with Ms. Huda. My point is that if a government is proven to not being able to handle a task, someone needs to step in. Now, I don't know what mechanism is available to you. Perhaps you could have illuminated on that. But I just want to say two things, viewers. Well, one second, madam. One second, madam. Please give me 30 seconds. Dr. Raman here.
Please tell
No, one second, you listen to me now. Dr. Raman, don't speak. Don't speak over people. Stop speaking. I'm lowering your fader. 1, 2, 3, gone. Not going to have people speaking out of turn. I'll come to you. Raise your hand. No problems. The SGPC in Punjab, viewers, asked a university there to delete references to Bhindranwala as a terrorist. When did this happen? July 2022. SGPC. Dr. Raman is not going to tell you that. Amrinder Singh said in 2014 that he is against celebrating Bhindranwala inside Golden Temple premises. But he was in opposition in 2014 and was part of the Congress at that time. Viewers, there are people who stand up and be counted, but there are others who keep quiet. Nonetheless, let me open this up further. Let me bring in Dr. Ranganathan. Let me bring in General Bakshi. Give me some time, Dr. Raman. I'll come to you. Dr. Ranganathan, what do you make of this?
Good evening, Rahul. No, you're absolutely right. Look, what is happening in Punjab is quite frankly scary. Rahul, as you said, we both are children of the 80s, and we remember how, for all practical purposes, all of us thought that we had lost Punjab forever.
Yeah.
There were Delhi buses were raided, people were brought out and killed point blank. There were transistor bombs until KPS Gill came along. Sadly, we don't have any KPS Gills anymore. And Rahul, even though I talk as a layman, only aware that there are experts much more knowledgeable on these matters than I am, General Bakshi is here, I want to put forth a common citizen's perspective. As I see it, there are three issues here. Number one, there is no doubt that the Punjab state government is proving itself to be wholly inept at handling the law and order in the border state. If it isn't the daily drone attacks across the border, the drug mafia murders, the blasphemy killings, horrible killings, it is the police stations being run over by Khalistani separatists and anarchists to get alleged kidnappers released. As you said, it's a wild, wild west out there. The situation is exacerbated by a lackadaisical coordination between the center and state forces, including the intelligence. Number two, 3 years ago, ORF fellow Sushant Sareen wrote a seminal piece forewarning us of exactly these dangers, Rahul. He called it the conflation of Khalistan with Kashmir. Just as you said, in context of the Kartarpur corridor, the ISI, which has worked tirelessly to create a compact between the Kashmiri and the Sikh diaspora in the West, will seize, he wrote, an opportunity with alacrity. In 2000, during Vajpayee's regime, the ISI chief Javed Nasir had made a similar offer. But 2 decades later, we didn't. Number three, and this is most important, Rahul, a lesson not given is a lesson not learned. One must not shirk away from blaming the center too in all this developing mess. Let us not forget how anarchists and middlemen and Khalistani separatists and supporters were mollycoddled by the center. Their every illegality went unpunished for a year. Remember the anarchy at Red Fort? Modi and Shah not being able to stop violence, vandalism, mayhem, or the mob carrying swords and other weapons from driving to the heart of the capital of India and hoisting a flag illegally at the Red Fort, a symbol of our democratic independent identity. The inevitable vacuum that is created when justice and rule of law whooshes away gets filled by anarchy and bloodshed, and exactly that happened. Worse, many of the cases against the rioters were then withdrawn. 17 of them, if I seem to remember correctly. Worse still, the Supreme Court stayed a silent spectator in all this mayhem. Rahul, just 30 seconds. How can we claim to be a great power when we can't even prevent a few hundred anarchists from removing the Indian flag from the Red Fort? Or can't, please don't interrupt right now, I didn't interrupt you, or can't protect our police stations from being run over. Don't just...
The debate...
1 minute please, let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish.
So I just politely ask you, can I...
Sanju Verma, please, let him...
Have I finished? Let him finish. I don't want this man to be lecturing me on your debate.
Let him finish. Please let him finish.
Can I rebut?
Not right now. Not right now. Not right now. Doctor,
Rahul,
go ahead.
This is just really...
Finish your point. Finish your point.
People. It's really rude and indisciplined people.
Yes.
So as I'm saying, don't just...
24/7 and you're talking of...
It's not a crime to lecture anybody. Just 2 seconds, please. Doctor, yeah. Finish your point.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I can be allowed to finish my point uninterrupted. As I'm saying, don't just blame Kejriwal or AAP. Modi and BJP are equally to blame. And you don't believe me? You can ask the AAP sympathizer there whether Bhinderwale was a terrorist or not. I know what the answer is going to be. But let me tell you this. This is a BJP MLA. Can you read what he's saying? He's asking the center to apologize for Operation Blue Star. And he's saying he's defending Bhinderwale. So let us be frank here. The problem lies on both sides.
And I just want to make a quick, and I want to bring in General Bakshi also. Please, just 1 second. General Bakshi, KPS Gill appointed DGP Punjab Police in 1988, if I'm not mistaken. That was under Rajiv Gandhi's government. You need to send in someone who perhaps can do what he did effectively. He was, of course, excuse me, appointed twice, 2 terms, 91 to 95, 88 to 1990. So, General Bakshi, where are we falling short?
Look, Rahul, I had the experience of serving in that state from 1985 to 1987, just in the wake of Operation Blue Star. And I was commanding a Sikh company there in the Punjab in counter-terrorist operations, right? So I have seen it with my own eyes. And you know, the more, one is really perturbed to see history repeating itself. The first time as tragedy, the second time as farce. Look, the simple fact is we saw how the Congress government then had tried to impose Bhindranwale upon that state, you know, in the hope of destabilizing the Akali Dal, right? And the price that we had to pay when that man turned up Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And we are going exactly down that slippery road. I say, Rahul, for God's sake, take a look at the geopolitical context. The Pakistani ISI is hell-bent on its K2 plan, the plan to revive terrorism in Kashmir and Punjab. Almost for the last 2.5 to 3 years, Chinese quadcopter and hexacopters have regularly been crossing the border to drop arms, ammunition, grenades, prefabricated IEDs, cash and drugs, with the sole purpose of reviving terrorism. Terrorism is a reality there. Thrice RPGs have been used to attack police stations and police targets. RPGs have not been used in J&K. They are being used in the Punjab. As a security analyst, I am just simply horrified. We are sleepwalking into a disaster.
Sleepwalking.
It's not just the Pakistani ISI.
Sleepwalking.
Look at what Soros is up to.
Yeah.
Look at what Soros is up to. Look at what is happening in Australia, in Canada, in UK. There is an orchestrated attempt to do the Indian state in. And we refuse to act.
We refuse to act. Okay.
I don't know when we will wake up and smell the coffee.
Let me tell you, viewers, there are two issues here. There is a lack of political will at the state level for obvious reasons, and I told you that I will give you the statistics, the exact psephological input, and you will understand what I mean. Secondly, viewers, most importantly, if the state is unwilling, the center must step up. And Sanju Verma, that's the point we're trying to make here.
Okay, can I come in now?
Please.
Thank you. Rahul, I started by saying that there's a division of powers under Article 245 and every right and sane-minded Indian has the right to question the Indian state, the central government in this case. But for somebody to be sitting here and waxing eloquent about Modi and Shah not doing this and that, and simply refusing to believe that you also need to call out the collapsing law and order situation and the institutionalization of the Bhindranwale syndrome under the long nose of Kejriwal, that is hypocrisy at its best or worst, call what you will. And I want to say a couple of things to you to tell you that we are not taking the Khalistani syndrome lightly. And I will just take 30 seconds to tell you that. In 2021 December, the Delhi police, which no channel carried out this news, and I did my homework before coming on your show, you can cross-check this with your research team. After 72 hours of hectic parleying and negotiations with the German police and German authorities, we arrested one of the most devious Khalistanis owing his allegiance to the SFJ, a man called Jaswinder Singh Multani. Again in 2021, do you know who we arrested? We arrested Gurmukh Singh, the nephew of Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale and the son of Jasbir Singh Lore. And let me tell you one very interesting thing. As recently as November 2022, just a few months back, who did we arrest? And it was an exercise which entailed a lot of diplomatic efforts. It was a man called Kulvinder Jeet Singh Khanpuria of the notorious Babbar Khalsa. Be it Mo Dhaliwal, be it somebody like Tamanjeet Singh Dhesi, the Labour Party MP in UK, or Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, who's the head of Seek for Justice. We've either banned these people or made them persona non grata. So for people to sit here and not acknowledge the efforts and give a lecture on competence of Modi and Shah, I'm not going to take that.
Look, I can understand. You are a spokesperson of the BJP, and that is
of the country is concerned.
One second. You're a spokesperson for the BJP, so obviously you're not going to take that. But viewers, let me tell you, we also had the rather ignominious episode where some of the lumpens carrying the Khalistan symbol, etc., as well as the Panthik flag, jumped on top of the Red Fort in the Union capital. when we were preparing, when we were warned that this was going to happen. And the police in Delhi, viewers, report straight to the center. So I'm just telling you, I'm not saying that there is no intent. All I'm saying, viewers, is that we are waiting too long. We need to get in there, swing the bats around, and make sure that these individuals are nailed to the cross. Now, let me tell you, 15 Panthik seats in Majha, 10 went to the AAP, Ashri, Hargobindpur, Atari, Amritsar South, Jandiala, Baba Bakala, Ajnala, Tarantaran, Khadur Sahib, Khemkaran, Patti. In Tarantaran, which is known as the Panthik district, SAD and Congress got the biggest shock, as the Aam Aadmi Party won all 4 seats here with comfortable margin. And viewers, let me tell you that Ajnala, where the protests have happened today, the Majha sub-region, 25 seats, contains several sites of religious significance to Sikhs, including the Golden Temple in Amritsar, Kartarpur corridor that connects Punjab to Gurdwara, Darbar Sahib in Pakistan. Now you know why the AAP is squatting and doing nothing. Mr. Ilahi, politics. You are from the state of Kashmir. You know how politics works in conjunction with separatism. And are you trying to tell me today that an individual like this can do what he is doing without state support at the local level?
Well, let me tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Let law take its own course.
No. Hakim Ilahi, don't give me this. No, don't give me this. Should he be arrested? Should he be arrested? No, hang on. Should he be arrested and thrown into jail? Yes or no?
I'm nobody to say that.
Oh, you are nobody. You're an Indian citizen, sir. You're an Indian citizen, and your loyalty should be with India first, and not with this. Not with this. Not with this. 1 second, Hakim Ilahi.
Anybody trying to destabilize our nation has to go behind bars.
Okay, and that's better. That's better. You're speaking the language. Now you're speaking the language of an Indian, and not a person who is sitting on the fence, minding his vested interests. I'm glad. Yes. And what do you think is happening, viewers? When a man comes with a sword, another one comes with sticks, a third one comes with pistols, etc., and takes hostage a whole police station.
Rahul,
if you had done that, 1 second, Eli, 1 second, had you done that, viewers, you would be immediately in the clink. You would be in jail. In Punjab, this is not happening.
When there is a question on BJP,
Hakim Ilahi, calm down, just relax, cool your jets, cool your jets. Yeah, just relax, calm down, don't keep speaking over me. The point is, viewers, if the state is failing, the center must step in. I made this point, and I'm making it again and again and again.
Can I speak now?
Right. No. I don't need you to speak, sir.
Insulted. I must be given a
chance to reply. Dr. Ranganathan, quick point, and I want to move on to the other next big story. Yes.
Yes, first of all, I am here to, I am also, I come prepared with whatever I have to say. I don't take kindly to people interjecting me and interrupting me rudely. They can say whatever they want to say, but without being stupid and rude. Number 1, I made 3 points. The second point was concerning Sushant Sareen's forewarning brilliant article. The first point was that completely... Rahul, can you get this bank...
1 second, please. Let's not keep...
You are stupidity personified. Who the hell are you to take jibes at me?
Look, I'm not going to... Please, let's not descend into this cauldron of invective on either side. Please, okay. Now, come on. Let's rise above this. Let's rise above this, please. Look, I'm... 1 minute.
Don't say let's rise.
No.
Ask her to not do this.
Okay, but don't also respond. You take the higher road. Take the higher road. Take the higher road. Take the higher road. It's okay. Dr. Ranganathan, make your point very quickly, please. I need to move on to the next.
Yes, if people don't have ears to listen, what can I do?
Yeah, fair enough.
Point number 1 that I made was that the Punjab government, state government is wholly responsible for the situation of law and order. The second point was on Sushant Sareen. And the third point had facts that Modi and Shah have completely failed. How can a powerful state let somebody come, a mob come and remove our tricolour from the Red Fort and put some other flag? Is that not a failure? Is that not a failure that Khalistani elements held our city hostage? Now again I'm being
Okay. Now hang on. I need to move on, viewers. I need to move on. I think the point has been made. I think it's been made very well. People are getting overly sensitive about why the center should not be questioned. The center should be questioned. We live in a democracy. We live in a country where internal security falls in the domain of the state government as well as the center. This is a massive issue, viewers. This could be a turning point in the recent political history of Punjab. This is not to be trifled with. We have suffered for 15 years through the 90s. It pegged back our growth, viewers. This is a border state. Can you imagine Kashmir and Punjab, the LOC and the IB, all suddenly activated, all inflamed? General Bakshi is telling you, let's wake up, end the politics, stand with the patriots and with the country. Put those interests first. And viewers, talking about that, let me tell you what's been happening in the state of Bihar now. In the state of Bihar, our braves are being reduced to the status of political cannon fodder. There is no other way of saying it. Even while they fight valiantly against the enemies of this nation, they are being backstabbed by the enemy within. After shockers like Sadak Ke Gunde and Farzical strike, now comes Hijron Ki Fauj Baab. Yes, viewers, that's right. Our Agniveers joined the forces with gusto to defend the nation. They're prepared to sacrifice only to be derided and mocked as an army of eunuchs by politicians who have a problem with the policy. But you have a problem with the policy, talk about the policy. What is the fault of these young men who are giving up their everything and serve the nation? Why slander them? Why target them? Listen to this Surendra Yadav, RJD leader. Listen to him, viewers.
ठीक आज से 8.5 साल के बाद देश का नाम आवेगा हिजड़ों के फौज में, हिजड़ों का फौज में। ये मैं बोलता हूँ। 8.5 साल के बाद जितना पुराना सेना है वो सब रिटायर कर जाएगा। ये जो 4.5 साल का जो अग्निपथ वाले, अग्निवीर वाले लोग जो बहाल होंगे, इनका तो ट्रेनिंग में पूरा नहीं होगा, तो चल आवेंगे रिटायर होके।
Let me bring in Anwar Hussain, leader of the RJD. Mr. Anwar Hussain, is this any way to be speaking about young men and women who want to join the forces to serve this country, sir? Should they be called Hijron Ki Fauj? You may disagree with the policy. Why are you today coming out and mocking the youth who want to serve the country? What's wrong with you? Anwar Hussain, can you hear me? I'm seeking an answer.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think this is acceptable, this language that is being used? Hijron Ki Fauj. Should you not be sacking or at some level taking action against this character?
No, you are. Don't try to twist his statements. He is not slandering the army. He is rather praising the army. He is rather in praise for the history of the army.
Anwar Hussain, have you not heard
this
man's statement?
Criticized.
Let's play it again. Let's play it again.
The central government's policy.
Anwar Hussain has deeply buried his head.
Let me speak. He is simply pointing out. No, he is simply pointing out the result. He is simply pointing out the result, the outcome of the government's Agniveer's policy. What is wrong there?
Mr.
What is anti-nationalism there?
Mr. Hussain.
Why don't you understand?
Why
don't you try to understand his point of view?
Hang on 1 second. No, I'm not understanding his point. Can you listen to me? Anwar Hussain.
In what context he is speaking, that is more important.
I see.
No,
the
Mr.
context
Rahul,
is important.
Mr. Rahul, listen to me. Let me speak. Let me complete. See, he is speaking in certain context. And context is Agniveer. Context is not army. He is actually praising the army, the role of the army, the history of the army. So you have to understand this. Well, what he has been criticizing, he is simply trying to tell you what can be the outcome of this Agniveer policy. And he is not one. He is not one. There are thousands and thousands of intellectuals and politicians in India
now,
who have...
Okay, I've heard you, sir. I've heard you. Mr. Hussain, I've heard you. Now let me tell you, viewers, that this RJD legislators... One second, don't get hysterical. Calm down. Okay? Now hang on. Let me tell you, viewers, Abhishek Jha of the JDU, alliance partner of the RJD, and another politician called Sunil Singh of the JDU, both have said they condemn the insult. So either the RJD today, viewers, through Mr. Hussain, is now trying to color this whole expression with some brush, because certainly their partners have condemned. Let me tell you, oppose Agniveer scheme, don't insult brave, says Nikhil. No, one second. My dear friend, can you please allow the facts to be, presented without speaking over me? I'm not lying here, sir. I don't come from that school of thought. So Abhishek Jha of the JDU say, oppose Agniveer scheme, don't insult braves.
No, please go on.
Sunil Singh, JDU says, JDU respects the forces, we don't condemn, we condemn the insult. One second, General Bakshi, would you like to respond to Mr. Hussain, who's trying to say that there was a larger context in calling young people who are going to graduate from this Hijron ki Fauj?
Look, I think we are getting a bit sick and tired of being abused. Right? The simple fact is, I may have reservations about the Agniveer scheme, right? And I have expressed my reservations to the highest quarters in the land. I've tried to go up to the Raksha Mantri, I've tried to go up to the NSA and suggest improvements to this scheme. But does that entitle me to call every single Agniveer, those poor boys who, despite the that they will serve only for 4 years, that, they will not get any pension, not get any privileges, they are still coming. Does it entitle you to call them hijras? I mean, do you understand the level of abuse that it, to a profession that provides itself as the acme of masculinity, of bahadri, of male aggression? I mean, you want to reduce them? You want to use this term of abuse? What is the fault of those poor boys? They are trying to serve their country, despite whatever shortcomings you and I may feel that the new scheme has. They are still coming forth. They are still coming forth in their lakhs. In fact, we have had a hard time managing the crowds in the recruitment. I'm saying I may have reservations about the scheme. I have said, please increase the duration to 7. I have said, please increase the retention to 50%. Those are positive, concrete suggestions. Those are positive suggestions, constructive suggestions. But does that mean if you don't agree with a scheme, do you abuse the boys who are joining? Do you call them such despicable names which in this country are, used for the lowest, are a real term of abuse actually?
Shocking. And these are people who are elected on taxpayer money to serve this country. This is the language. Hussain couldn't even bring himself to say he could have used another word. He's justifying it. Imagine if all these MLAs and their children were called hijras. How would you have liked it? Would you have liked it?
Correct.
There are people out there who are sending their children to the forces. There are a large number of people who are going out there and trying to recruit and trying to get a job.
You have to understand.
And you want to call them hijras?
His concern is love for the nation.
Oh, come on, Anwar Hussain. Anwar Hussain, you can use 150 words. You can say that they will not come out well trained. They may not be efficient. But to call somebody a hijra? Shame on you. Ridiculous. These are the taxpayers, viewers.
Well, you can.
These are the people that leech the taxpayers. This Hussain and company.
No.
These are the people, and they don't have an iota of respect for you, viewers. They will call you hijras tomorrow. Let me tell you this. Don't vote for people like this. They have no grace. They have absolute zero decorum. Show them the door. Disgusting. And you know, viewers, in a day and age like this, to use a word like eunuch, what it says about their mindset, their absolute craven sexism, their patriarchal mindset, how dare they insult a very, very significant number of our community. How dare you use this word? Insensitive, shocking. Leave it at this, viewers.
On gender sensitization. So, I mean, we from time to time obviously work on such initiatives which are industry first, which make sure that women experience a safe ride on the platform. I think we definitely want to encourage more and more women drivers on the platform. In fact, in the US, we recently launched a product called Women Rider Preferred, wherein our women drivers will get the option to be paired only with women riders. And that's something which we believe is going to be very empowering for our women drivers to feel safe on the platform, especially if they're taking, let's say, nighttime trips, etc. So that's something which we are evaluating for our market and which we would definitely want to see if we can launch it here for India. And yeah, we are partnering with multiple organizations to get more and more women drivers on the platform, and something which we constantly endeavor towards. Yeah, gender sensitization is not just about drivers being sensitized towards women riders, but it's also about sensitizing drivers against sensitizing our drivers for all genders. So that is something which we will definitely work towards and get done. It's a very interesting idea and something which we have ourselves discussed and deliberated quite a lot. I think the challenge here would be to have a service which is very reliable, because the last thing that you would want is someone trying to book a pink cab but then not having vehicles available, right? So that's going to be a challenge that we are going to solve. Again, it's not an easy challenge because the number of women drivers is on the platform really low, and in general also commercial women drivers, the numbers are fairly low. So it's going to be challenging for us to do that at this point. But what we are doing is that we are partnering with organizations, NGOs, to increase the participation of women in the commercial driving space. And once we feel that we have critical mass, we can definitely think of launching something like that.
Thank you for watching this video. कोई सवाल अगर आपका इनमें से आपको पूछने का दिल था और हमने जवाब दे दिया तो लिख के बताइए। कोई सवाल जो आपका है और आपको लगता है हम जवाब दे सकते हैं तो उस सवाल को भी कमेंट बॉक्स में लिखिए। बाकी ऐसे और वीडियोस देखने के लिए सब्सक्राइब टू गैजेट टाइम्स।
जिस उम्र में उन्हें स्टिक पकड़ना चाहिए उसी उम्र में हमारी दादी माँ किताबें पढ़ती है।
आजीबाईच्या शाळेमध्ये आल्यापासून माझं आयुष्य बदलूनच गेलं आणि मला खूप आनंद वाटायला लागला। मलाच नाही तर सगळ्या आज्यांना आनंद वाटायला लागला।
मेरा नाम योगेंद्र शांताराम बांगर है और मैं प्राइमरी टीचर का काम करता हूँ। यह जो आजीबाई शाला जो है, यह स्कूल दुनिया का पहला स्कूल है और सभी स्कूल से अलग है। आप देखते हैं कि बच्चों के लिए स्कूल होता है, युवाओं के लिए स्कूल होता है, महिलाओं के लिए भी स्कूल है, लेकिन जो दादी माँ है, बुजुर्ग है, उनके लिए ऐसा कोई स्कूल नहीं है। इसीलिए उनको शिक्षा देने के लिए वो दादी को हमने चुना। ये पूरा जो गांव है हमारा फांगणे गांव, एक परिवार के
EXC concept. This is the concept EXC. So
stories on the show tonight, viewers.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today, while addressing the post-budget webinar, said that green energy sources are nothing less than a gold mine for private players. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's personal assistant has been summoned by Enforcement Directorate in Liquorgate investigation. Aam Aadmi Party leader Jasmine Shah also summoned. BJP workers climbed over police barricades as they held a protest march towards Aam Aadmi Party offices, demanding the resignation of Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia in connection with feedback unit alleged snooping case. Times now has accessed CCTV footage of raids inside conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar Tihar jail cell. Several items including Gucci slippers found. Big victory for EPS. Supreme Court upholds High Court order to give control of AIADMK to E. Palanisamy. Telangana High Court has taken suo cognizance in the death case of a 5-year-old toddler after he was mauled by stray dogs in Hyderabad. Poster wars are raging in Maharashtra's Mumbai within the NCP. Ajit Pawar's posters projecting him as the next chief minister replaced with those of Supriya Sule.
से यह उपक्रम मनाते हैं। उस समय छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज जी के चरित्र का पठन हो रहा था, तो यह सुनने के भी हमारे गांव के 30 दादी माँ जो है, जो उनके जमाने में कभी स्कूल में गई नहीं थी, उन्हें पढ़ाई लिखना उन्हें आता नहीं था, वह भी बैठी थी। वो मेरे पास आई और मुझे बोलने लगी कि सर देखो, सभी अच्छी तरह से पढ़ाई यह करती है, अगर हमें भी लिखना पढ़ना आता तो हम भी यह आनंद में हिस्सा ले सकते हैं। उन्होंने बताया हुआ जो कुछ दुख है, इसका रूपांतर जो है वह सुख में करने के लिए मैंने सोचा कि 8 मार्च 2016 वर्ल्ड वुमेन डे है। लोग एक दिन महिला का सम्मान करते हैं, इसीलिए ये दादी माँ स्कूल की शुरुआत उसी दिन हुई। हमारे स्कूल में जो दादी माँ है, उनका एज ग्रुप 60 से 94 ईयर है। 2 बजे स्कूल स्टार्ट होता है, तो वह 2 बजे से पहले ही सभी दादी माँ इधर अपनी जो तैयारी है, अपना जो कुछ होमवर्क है, वह सब करके यहाँ आती है। ये स्कूल के अलावा ये दादी माँ के बहुत ही ऐसे उपक्रम हम यहाँ करते हैं। ये सभी दादी माँ को काशी यात्रा भी हम करके लाए हैं। यहाँ उन्हें पढ़ाई लिखना इतना ही नहीं, तो उनके जीवन में आनंद कैसा आए, इसीलिए उनको किधर घुमाना है या और कुछ करना है। इतना ही नहीं, तो उनका मेडिकल कैंप भी हम हमेशा रखते हैं। कोई दादी माँ बीमार पड़े तो उसको भी हम अच्छी तरह से मदद करते हैं। तो बहुत ही उनके
शेड्यूल पर दिख रहा है, पीछे ये जो पैच पर दिख रहा है वही आपको उसी कलर का फ्रेम दिखाई देगा विद येलो एक्सेंट्स। वेट की बात करें तो अच्छा है, लाइट वेट है, और यहाँ पे जो येलो है दिस इज लिटिल बिट डल, नॉट एज वाइब्रेंट एज द बॉक्स और प्रॉपर येलो। वैसे तो मैट फिनिशिंग है, लेकिन ये जो कलर है इसके अंदर हल्का सा ग्लिटर आपको दिखाई देता है। फ्लैशी नहीं है, अच्छा है। इसको साइड में रखते हैं, अभी ऑन भी करेंगे और उसके बाद स्मार्टफोन के बारे में बात करेंगे। पहले देखते हैं और क्या आपको बॉक्स के अंदर दिखाई देगा। यू ऑल्सो गेट अ 67 वॉट चार्जिंग ब्रेक। I really liked how they have written 67 watt here. बहुत ही बढ़िया फॉन्ट लग रहा है, कुछ डिफरेंट देखने को मिला, वरना ज्यादातर यहाँ पर नॉर्मली
evening, ladies and gentlemen. What happened in Punjab today was unprecedented. It's absolutely shocking that a Khalistani sympathizer and his goons, armed with swords and big sticks, were given a free run by the state, chasing cops, attacking and beating them up, vandalizing public property, and no one to stop them. Look at these visuals on your TV screens. These visuals tell a horrifying tale of a complete breakdown in law and order. This is the sorry state of affairs in the state of Punjab. Pro-Khalistan leader Amritpal Singh and his supporters went on a rampage in Amritsar, taking the state hostage. The state surrendered to Amritpal's demands and the police were forced to cower before him. The cops declared that Amritpal's close aide, who was arrested in a kidnap and assault case, would be released tomorrow because that was what Amritpal wanted, and that is why these scenes were being noticed. And the state just went on its knees, forced by the political leadership to give in to the demands of a terror sympathizer like Amritpal. Listen in to the Khalistani sympathizer Amritpal Singh after he walked out of the Ajnala police station, getting an assurance from the state and the police.
क्या सहमति बनी सर पुलिस ऑफिसर से क्या बात
पर्चा कैंसल वो कहते होया सीपी साहब ने साइन कर दिते हैं इनक्वायरी जी सिट बैठी सी वो डिसीजन ते पहुंची है भी एविडेंस नवे जिहड़े आए ने वो तो पता लगता है भी ये पर्चा झूठा दर्ज किया गया सी और उन्होंने प्रॉमिस किया पर्चा भी दर्ज लिखती रूप देता है और कल नूं सिंह की रिहाई का भी वादा किया
सर धरना जारी रहेगा या चले जाएंगे अभी
नहीं असीं इत्थे अमर संचार कर रहे हैं
Well, that was Amritpal coming out, and then look at what the police had to say on how they had just given in to the demands of the Khalistani sympathizers.
So, sir, what is the final outcome? We have seen
Final
there is a lot
outcome
of...
is the person we have arrested in this case, these people, they have given us a sufficient evidence that he is not present on the spot. So we are going to discharge him tomorrow. And the rest sit has been formed. And whatever the outcome of the sit will be, so we'll take action accordingly.
A lot of questions are being raised over the police. Why he was arrested? Because today Amritpal, he has clearly said that he is coming here. If there is anything against him, he can be arrested here. So why he was arrested by the police?
So, as I have said, during investigation, evidence is on the file. So now, the evidence which these people, they have given, it is in his favor. So we're going to discharge him.
The pro-Khalistan preacher had given a 1-hour ultimatum to the government, warning that if they do not cancel the FIR registered against him and his aide, the administration would be responsible for what happened next. And just that ultimatum, and the administration buckled under pressure. Look at this blackmail by this Khalistan sympathizer giving a 1-hour notice.
ये अपील है प्रशासन नूं भी ये काम चंगा नहीं संगत ने इत्थे पहुंचना है इत्थे संगतां दा हड़ आया पिया है ते ਉਹ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਣ ਦਾ ਫਰਜ਼ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਥੇਬੰਦੀ ਦੇ ਮੇਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਗੁਰਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਬੁੱਕਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਬਸੰਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਵੇਰ ਦਾ ਨਜ਼ਰਬੰਦ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੁਣ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਾਸੀ ਹੋਣ ਦਾ ਨਤੀਜਾ ਹੈ ਅਗਲਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਨਾਲੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਗੁਲਾਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਵਤੀਰਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਮੈਂ ਉਹ ਥਾਣੇਦਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਹਿਤਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਹਿਤਾ ਗੁਰਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੁਣੀ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਗੇ ਬਸੰਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਛਡਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਗੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਥੇਬੰਦੀ ਦੇ ਸਿੰਘ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਗੇ ਸ਼ਾਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੀਵਾਨ ਸਜਣਗੇ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਤੇ ਸ਼ਾਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੰਬੋਧਨ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਾ
Meanwhile, the state government decided to remain a mute spectator to the anarchy that prevailed on the streets of Punjab. And even when Punjab Chief Minister was earlier questioned about why Khalistani sympathizer was roaming free, the Chief Minister ducked the question and just appealed for calm. Listen in to Bhagwant Mann, Punjab Chief Minister.
Punjab ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਦੀ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਬੌਂਡਿੰਗ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਲਈ ਮੰਨੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਾਤਾਂ ਪਾਤਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਧਰਮਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਮਨੁੱਖਤਾ ਦਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਵੀ ਮਨੁੱਖਤਾ ਦਾ ਸੁਨੇਹਾ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ 3 ਕਰੋੜ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੁਣਿਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੱਕ 'ਚ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਲੈ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਬਾਕੀ ਲਾਅ ਐਂਡ ਆਰਡਰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸਹੀ ਹੈ, ਕੰਟਰੋਲ 'ਚ ਹੈ।
So the legitimate question we're asking on the Newshour tonight, who is allowing this free Khalistan run in the state of Punjab? That's the real question. Hashtag Khalistan free run. That's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the Newshour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Sushant Sareen, Senior Fellow of the ORF, Tushar Gupta, Senior Editor, Swarajya, Amritpal Singh Baliwal, Political Analyst, Dr. Akashdeep Muni, Political Analyst, Ravi Srivastav, Political Analyst. And my first question goes to Dr. Akashdeep Muni. Dr. Akashdeep Muni, I want to ask you, is the state government understanding the gravity of the situation? Do you know there is a 550-kilometer border between India and Pakistan, and Indian taxpayers pay 2 crore per kilometer to build a fence? That's 1100 crores of taxpayers' money. And what is happening inside of Punjab? Our own government, the Punjab government, gives a free run to a Khalistani supporter who blackmails the police, and the police is forced to just bend down.
I utterly disagree with you, Ravi.
No, why do you disagree with me? Haven't you seen the scenes? What are you disagreeing about?
I've seen that. Let me come to the facts. The facts is that you say that Punjab is an anarchy. I don't agree with you, because there has been crackdown on terrorism under Bhagwan Singh Mann government. BKE Renda Group, Arsh Dalla Group, drone module, Ludhiana attack module, Lakhbir Landa module, KJF module, KZF module, the Khalistani Tiger Group. Do you know about it? They have been caught by Aam Aadmi Party government in Punjab. This shows that there has been a terrible crackdown on 25 big modules, टेरर मॉड्यूल। और आपको क्या लगता है ये टेरर मॉड्यूल आज बने हैं? ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी, शिरोमणि अकाली दल और कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट के टाइम में बने हैं, जो आम आदमी पार्टी खत्म कर रही है। इसीलिए प्रॉब्लम खड़ी हो रही है। और एक बात मैं बता दूं, लेट मी टेल यू वन पर्टिकुलर थिंग, देयर हैज बीन एन एफआईआर अगेंस्ट अमरीपाल सिंह, दिस हैज बीन रजिस्टर्ड अंडर आम आदमी पार्टी गवर्नमेंट, नॉट अंडर भारतीय जनता पार्टी और कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट। वन मोर इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर आई वांट टू टेल यू दैट देयर हैज बीन highly cracked down on crime. 25% criminal cases has been solved faster as per NCRB report. And I just want to tell at the end one thing. Remember, do you remember 2016 when Bharatiya Janata Party and Shiromani Akali Dal was in power? RSS leaders were point blank killed in Punjab. This is not the case today. Today, Punjab police is empowered to act against terrorists, drugs and mafia. That what NCRB and data says. This is what I have to say, and that is why situation has improved, not come down.
Well, because some cases are solved faster, you will allow a Khalistani sympathizer to dictate terms of engagement with the Indian state. Now, Sushant Sareen, is this something that you can actually believe is happening in Punjab? And we all know Punjab and militancy in Punjab, how this country has suffered. Are we today to just be mute spectators to a Khalistani supporter wielding swords and making the Sarkar as well as the police cow down in the manner it has?
Navika, unfortunately, we are a country with a memory of a goldfish. And we have forgotten what happened in Punjab and how it happened. Of course, what the Aam Aadmi Party representative is talking is utter nonsense. and I think it's despicable the way they are trying to defend their record, because we've seen the scenes today. If the law and order situation in Punjab was as good as he's describing it to be, do you think you would have seen this kind of state of affairs in the state, where the state has actually abdicated? Keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet. Keep quiet.
No, I'll not keep quiet. You said
when your drivel was happening, I kept quiet and listened to your drivel.
Akashdeep Muni, Akashdeep Muni, there has to be some semblance of discipline on a debate. You can't speak all the time. You've made your point. There is another gentleman on the panel. Allow him to make his point. If you want to rebut, your time will come. Hold on till then. Yes, Sushant Sari.
Yeah, so we've seen the scenes today, and we've been seeing this kind of stuff happening in Punjab. We are seeing a steady deterioration in Punjab. Now, of course, there are all kinds of allegations against the Aam Aadmi Party and its links, and I think those need to be investigated. People had been warned before the election happened, yet people voted them in, unfortunately, but we are saddled with these people. But does that absolve the central government of its responsibility when they see things start spiraling out of control? What is the role that the central government is playing? Number one. Number two, Navika, please remember how the terrorism in Punjab happened. Its green shoots were actually in the Punjabi Suba movement. Once the Punjabi Suba movement played out, then it started out outside India, when Jagjit Singh Chauhan and others started this whole Khalistan stuff from the UK and other places, right? Then it came out here, and the Pakistanis, of course, partaked into it. And suddenly what was a kind of a quasi-political movement turned into a militant and a terrorist movement. Exactly the same trajectory is being followed now. And if we are going to deny this, then it's fine. Then, we will suffer the consequences and we'll pay the wages for what is happening right now. To say that we are being alarmist is utter nonsense, because at least I don't look at Punjab very, very closely, and maybe I will start doing it now. But for the last 5 or 6 years, we are seeing this kind of a thing deteriorate. The only one thing which Mr. Muni said, which made some sense, is that this is not happening just because the Aam Aadmi Party government has come into power. It has happened under the Akalis, where there was complete and abject misgovernance by them. It happened under the Congress government, and it has now escalated to a level where we are now seeing a kind of a full-blown kind of a movement which is gravitating, which is openly separatist, but which will gravitate towards terrorism in not too distant a future. So brace yourselves. You can stay in denial as much as you want, but one last final point. Punjab has one of the largest police forces in this country. So you have such a large police force and you have no policing. You have no police officer, and look at the kind of nonsensical excuse the gentleman and the police officer was giving on your show. That we got evidence, so we arrested the man. Then we got evidence from that guy's lawyer, so we released him. What kind of a show are these guys running? That you just arrest somebody just for the heck of it and keep him for 5 days in prison without any evidence?
What about state pressure on him is also the question we'll have to ask. And let me get in Kamal Sohi of the BJP. Mr. Kamal Sohi, there has been no action against Amritpal despite several pro-Khalistan statements and activities like rioting. In fact, in November last year, Amritpal Singh Sandhu started a month-long Khalsa Bahir, and automatic weapons were carried in some of these processions. I want to ask you, since when has this been allowed in our country, in any state of India? And Punjab, given the fact that it is a border state right next to the India-Pakistan border, can we allow such separatist elements to have a free run in the state of Punjab and the government virtually sleeping on the wheel?
Navika, basically, how this has happened and why this has happened, this has the history of around 10 to 11 months. As soon as they were campaigning, there was a gentleman called Gurpatwant Singh Pannu from Canada, who's running an organization called SFJ. He openly said, we are going to finance Aam Aadmi Party elections. We are with Aam Aadmi Party election. And this Gurpatwant Singh Pannu's character and his following and whatever he does, everybody knows. And after that, even before these elections, in the previous election, Kejriwal went to one Khalistani supporters' house in Moga, and that was in the limelight. They have a soft corner for these kind of elements, and similar kind of incident happened in Patiala when Kali Mata Mandir was vandalized, and the bricks were thrown and the open swords and the
Can I come in with all respect?
Please let me complete. I did not intervene in when you were saying. Let me make my point. Now after that, there is a collapse of law and order in Punjab from last 10 months. You have seen murder of Sidhu Moosewala. You have seen the murder of Sandeep Umar Nangal, who was a kabaddi player. There are more than 260 odd murders happened in last 10 months, and there is this party is sleeping. There was a murder of one of the BJP activists in Nakodar, and he was warned 4 days back. You will be murdered on this and this date, and they didn't do anything. Rakesh Suri of Shiv Sena was murdered in broad daylight in Amritsar. And this is, I tell you, this is total collapse of law and order situation in the state of Punjab. And the situation is, no one knows. Please, otherwise I will not let you speak. Otherwise I will not let you speak when your turn comes. Let me complete my point, okay? Now, in Punjab, we Punjabis do not know who is governing us. Who is our chief minister? Is it Bhagwant Mann? Is it Kejriwal? Is it Raghav Chadha? Or is it Sanjay Pathak? Now Punjabis are in a state of shock and fear. Wherever the anti-social elements want, they are killing. Wherever anti-social element wants, they are looting. Wherever anti-social element want, they are harassing people. They are demanding ransom. Punjab.
Now let me come in.
You will come in afterwards. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. You have changed three. They have changed three DGPs in last 10 months. 2 chief secretaries have been changed. And Punjab is a fit case. Punjab can be studied in the last 10 months. The situation has gone from bad to worse. We have a fear psychosis that this kind of a situation is going to take us to the 1980s or 1990s. We are looking at a very, very bleak future of Punjab.
Akashdeep Muni. Okay, Akashdeep Muni, what do you have to say in your defense? I want to ask you, I'll ask you a rapid fire question. I want to ask you, did Amritpal Singh make all these statements, objectionable statements in the past? Yes or no? Yes or no? Has he made objectionable statements, separatist statements? Yes or no?
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
He has made.
That is why
okay.
FIR has been
all right.
lodged.
Then
that is
has.
Ma'am, by the.
So after FIR, my friend, after FIR, 1 minute. Hold on. After FIR, when his aide is arrested, why is the aide being let free tomorrow? Why has Amritpal Singh not been arrested? He comes and dictates terms in a police station, uses swords and dandas, and then you let him walk free. That is the governance of Punjab?
No. The perspective is something different. Let me keep in things in perspective. He came here and one thing. No.
They always want to
BJP person will come then I'll be
these kind of elements.
Sir, आपने तो ये नहीं बताया कि सिमरनजीत कुमार को आप सपोर्ट करते हैं कि नहीं? जो वरना संगरूर के एमएलए हैं, एमपी है. आपके एलआई थे ना? शिरोमणि अकाली दल से. These people are fishing in troubled waters and they want that Punjab should burn. That is why their political battle should run. This is the condition. That is why people of Punjab have thrown them out from here. And one thing, Navida ji, you have asked very serious question. I want to answer you. I want to answer you that there has been an FIR registered, and today, after investigation, there has been found that the person arrested is not psychologically fit. After investigation has been found, and a SIT has been made to to investigate further. So investigation खत्म नहीं हुई है, FIR लॉन्च है, कोर्ट में जाएगी, ये लॉ एंड ऑर्डर प्रोसेस चलेगा. इनको कोई परवाह नहीं है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी को यही परवाह है कि पंजाब जले, कैसे थोड़ा पंजाब जले और हम थोड़ा पावर में आ जाए.
Okay, calm down, Akashdeep, Puni and Kamal Soi. Calm down, gentlemen. Everybody can't speak at the same time. Just calm down. I want to get in Mr. Ravi Srivastava. Mr. Ravi Srivastava, you're a reasonable man. Do you believe that in this country we should start negotiating with separatists? Somebody is psychologically disturbed, so he can assault people, he can he can kidnap people, and somebody can come to a police station, wave swords and dandas, and the police will negotiate with him and let an accused go scot-free. Is that the way law and order is maintained in Punjab? Or any
Navika, first of all, this person who has been making all these statements, like my co-panelist said, that FIRs have already been filed against him. Law will take its own course. But my question here is, sympathizer of Khalistan movement, Mr. Simranjit Singh Maan, is sitting right in the parliament. And we have got all supporters, many people, the BJP spokesperson, who speak in favor of Khalistan movement. As far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, nobody supports it. And they do proudly say, Khalistan Murdabad. Let the friends also say it. Because neither Bhagwan Singh Maan nor Kejriwal, they don't have any sympathy for the Khalistan movement. It is the center. It's a national security subject.
So Mr. Ravi Srivastava, okay, if you are saying that Mr. Maan or Mr. Kejriwal do not support Khalistani supporters, then why were these people allowed to go away, walk free, after they intimidated, made policemen run? They were roaming around with automatic weapons, in their procession in November, and carrying swords today. Why have they been allowed to walk free? Can you please explain to me?
Yeah, sure. Navika, the SIT has been formed. It will definitely investigate who was carrying which weapon. Another thing is, you talk of state law and order is a state subject. Where was the state when the person was hoisting a Khalistan flag on the Lal Killa on 26th of January? Where was the state? Where was the law and order? Who was controlling that? Nobody.
Do you know who was there?
No, today.
Do you know who was there? There is one Punjab sitting minister.
You don't utter a word. You have got Mr. Sirsa, who is the biggest sympathizer of Khalistan movement.
I tell you, there was one Punjab sitting minister there.
You have got people right in Canada. Even our country's diplomacy, what are they doing? The Justin Trudeau is participating in the Khalistan movement there. There people are killing the orders from there. Lawrence Bishnoi is killing Sidhu Moosewala, and the central government is keeping quiet. What are they doing? Sucking the thumbs. What center is?
What do you want us to do?
1 minute.
What do you want us to do?
1 minute. Politics on the security of this country, on the integrity of this country is not going to be tolerated, Mr. Ravi Srivastava. So let's not make this political. Let me get in Mr. Amritpal Singh Baliawal. Mr. Amritpal Singh Baliawal, you're a Punjabi, I'm a Punjabi. And this is our state as it is a part of India. And every Indian would feel worried when they look at these scenes. SIT will look into it. The procession happened last November. FIRs have been registered. Today, all of this is there. And you can see how these sword and danda, lathi wielding people have tried to push the police on one side. And those visuals are there. And you can see how the hapless police are being pushed back. And the man gets a promise that the aide who has been arrested will be released tomorrow. Is this not abject surrender by the state? Mr. Baliawal, please explain to me, am I getting it wrong, or is that what these visuals show?
Definitely, Navika. जो आज हुआ है बहुत शर्मनाक कार्य है.
आज पंजाब में इन्वेस्ट पंजाब समिट चल रहा है और जहाँ पे हमारे मुख्यमंत्री जो लोगों को कह रहे हैं कि आप पंजाब में आइए, इन्वेस्ट कीजिए, बहुत फेयर एंड फेयर माहौल है पंजाब का। बट पंजाब का माहौल जो है वो आप सबने देख लिया है। पुलिस हाउस अरेस्ट हो गई है। इन्होंने की है जो वहां पे गए हैं, पुलिस स्टेशन के अंदर अभी भी वो लोग बैठे हैं और पुलिस को अरेस्ट किया हुआ है। और भगवंत मान जी आज मेरे हिसाब से ये कह रहे होंगे पंजाब का लॉ एंड ऑर्डर बहुत अच्छा हो गया क्योंकि अमृतपाल के सपोर्टर्स ने पंजाब पुलिस के ऊपर कब्जा कर लिया और वो बहुत अच्छे से चलाएंगे। नाविका, मैं आपको 2-3 चीजें बताना चाहता हूँ। ये जो इंसिडेंट हुआ है ये 8 दिन से चल रहा है। उसने ओपनली थ्रेट किया था पंजाब पुलिस को, अगर मेरे आदमियों को छोड़ा नहीं गया तो मैं आऊंगा और छुड़वा के ले जाऊंगा। फिर उसने संडे को एक स्टेज अनाउंस की एट जवाहर सिंह वाला, वहां पे उसने कहा कि मैं 1 दिन का और अल्टीमेटम दे रहा हूं, 4 दिन का और अल्टीमेटम दे रहा हूं, मैं एक्शन लूंगा। कल उसने फिर दिया अल्टीमेटम, कुछ नहीं किया पुलिस ने। उस बंदे को पकड़ा जा सकता था, रोका जा सकता था, बट जो आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार है बदलाव दिखाना चाहती। ये बदलाव देख रहे हैं पंजाब के, जहां पे हमारी पुलिस ने मिलिटेंसी को खत्म किया और उस जमाने में भी कभी पुलिस स्टेशन के ऊपर कब्जा नहीं हुआ और आज पुलिस स्टेशन के अभी भी अंदर बैठ के कब्जा करके बैठे हैं और आप कह रहे हैं कि कुछ हुआ ही नहीं। लोग डर रहे हैं। अजनाला पुलिस स्टेशन, 1 मिनट भाई साहब, अजनाला पुलिस स्टेशन बॉर्डर से सिर्फ 10 किलोमीटर की दूरी पे है। पाकिस्तान का बॉर्डर 10 किलोमीटर की दूरी पे है और हमारी पुलिस स्टेशन के ऊपर कब्जा हो गया वहां पे और कल को कोई भी आके ले आएंगे। और वेपन्स, ऑटोमेटिक वेपन्स, कहां गई वो पॉलिसी, कहां गया बाकी चीज। एक चीज और नाविका, गोल्डी बडार को पकड़ने की बात करी थी सीएम ने जब गुजरात इलेक्शन चल रहे थे, आज तक नहीं पता लगा कि गोल्डी बडार गया कहां पे। ये सारा कुछ पंजाब में ही हो रहा है क्योंकि पता ही नहीं मुख्यमंत्री कौन है, कहां से काम चल रहा है। आप बताएं तो सही। अभी ये लाल किले की बात कर रहे हैं, लाल जी।
चलिए ठीक है, आपने अपना पॉइंट रख दिया। मुझे मैं आपको रिबट करता हूँ। आपको पता है कि नहीं कि ये जितने भी आपने नाम लिए हैं ये आज के बने हुए नहीं है, शिरोमणि अकाली दल और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के टाइम के 2016 के हैं। आपको पता है? आपको पता है? नहीं, आपको पता नहीं होगा ना। आपको बता दूं, मैं भी पंजाब में रहता हूँ, आपको पता नहीं होगा। आपको पता है कि 2016 में आपको पता है जब उनकी सरकार थी कि कैसे मारा जाता था लोगों को, वैसा हो रहा है आज। You know, one important thing is that there has been a facade created by people in the opposition here from Congress and Bharatiya Janata Party that everything is anarchy. It is not that. The situation has improved. The problem है drugs menace. आपको पता है drugs menace?
अरे शर्म आ रही है, अरे शर्म कीजिए। दो बच्चे मर रहे हैं हमारे, दो बच्चे मर रहे हैं रोज।
आपको पता है कि आपको क्यों निकाल के फेंका गया पावर से?
अरे आके
क्यों निकाल के फेंका गया?
अरे पंजाब में आके
नहीं पता लगेगा। आपको पता है? आपको पता है?
और लोग
पता है?
1 मिनट
पकड़ रहे हैं।
तुषार गुप्ता 1 minute, Tushar Gupta, 1 minute, gentlemen. Tushar Gupta, I want to get you in. I want to ask you, is this an issue on which we should even have a debate? A police station under siege 10 kilometers away from the India-Pakistan border. And we are sitting and finger pointing and refusing to admit that this is a serious situation which needs to be looked at just so seriously because the security of the country, the integrity of the country is at stake, and we are sitting and pontificating. I mean, is this the most shocking part of the situation in Punjab today?
You know, Navika, this is a repeat of the politics we were seeing around CA protests in Shaheen Bagh. Let's get a few facts clear. One, the law and order situation in Punjab has gone for a toss. Number two, Amritpal Singh Sandhu is a national security headache. Number three, even though I do not like saying this, but Aam Aadmi Party has to fix its mess in Punjab. It doesn't matter if the problem originated in 1980s, 2000, 2020. They have the mandate, they have to fix it, the people trust them to fix it. And the centre, even if it may not trust the Aam Aadmi Party, has to give them that leverage to fix the law and order problem because it's a state subject. But simultaneously, the centre needs to prepare now. They cannot make the same mistakes they made during the farmer protest. Aam Aadmi Party cannot be trusted to fix this problem. They'll evade their responsibility at the most crucial time, be it Raghav Chadda, be it Arvind Kejriwal, be it Bhagwant Mann, who's placed as the chief minister. They'll all evade the responsibility, so it's very important for the centre to prepare. Now here the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson says that we've been cracking down on criminals. Today, there was an open threat to the state that we are giving you an hour, withdraw the FIR, or you'll be responsible for whatever follows. There is your evidence. Take action against it. Why do you need an SIT for it? The man is speaking to national television and national channels. He's saying on television that if you do not withdraw the FIR, the violence that follows, we won't be responsible for it. How is the Aam Aadmi Party again waiting it out? That's my question. Mr. Mooney, then take action. Then take action against him also. Then take action now. Sir, your leader in Delhi keeps complaining. No, Mr. Mooney.
Why has action not been taken on Amritpal Singh?
Mr. Mooney.
Mr. Mooney, why has action not been taken? Can you please explain?
Navika.
Oh, you know,
Navika, Arvind Kejriwal. No. Where is the action? No, Navika. For 10 years in Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal has been complaining, give me the control of the police force, I'll fix the things. Give me the control of the police force. He has it in Punjab. What is he doing?
भारत की जनता खालिस्तान को सपोर्ट करते हो, you know, सिमरनजीत सिंह मान को सपोर्ट करते हो.
No same thinking individual supports Khalistan. Is that even a question? आप लीजिए ना एक्शन उसके अगेंस्ट, आप लीजिए.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के एलाय थे कि नहीं?
Navika, this is the problem with these Aam Aadmi Party spokespersons. They lack common sense. They do not understand what's going on. They do not want to acknowledge the situation on the ground. That is why I'm saying Aam Aadmi Party in the state cannot be trusted to solve the problem. Centre has to step up. The centre needs to step up. These people won't fix the problem, Navika.
Navika,
these people won't fix the problem.
पंजाब के लिए कुछ नहीं करेंगे, पंजाब को जलता हुआ छोड़ देंगे. आम आदमी पार्टी ही पंजाब को जलने से बचा सकती है, जो आज कर रही है, जो आज निकाल रही है. आर्म्स एक्ट के अंडर में
Sareen, FIRs have been registered. Law will take its own course. Is this enough? Is this enough? I mean, this one-upmanship on an issue of security. Do you think the Aam Aadmi Party is taking this far too lightly?
Tell me, is this character Amritpal Singh's Sandhu? Has he started making these separatist remarks and this rabble rousing which he's doing? Has it just started yesterday or 3 days back or after the arrest of one of his associates? He's been doing it for months altogether. What FIRs have been filed? And has an FIR been filed only today? Has it been filed 3 days back? Has it been filed 5 days back? When has it been filed? Number one. Number two, what about why were FIRs not filed earlier? And if just filing an FIR is action, then I'm sorry, it's not really going to lead us anywhere. You know, if you file an FIR, then why don't you move against the person? Why don't you collect the evidence and book the guy? There are enough provisions in the Indian Constitution. But I will repeat, there is a responsibility of the state government, but there is also a responsibility of the central government. The central government can't simply wash its hands of what is happening and say that it's the state government's responsibility. If the state government is not discharging its responsibility, there are enough provisions in the statute books, in the constitution for the central government to force the hand of the state government to direct it to act. And if the state government does not do it, then it constitutes an action which can be taken under the relevant articles of the constitution to, to dismiss the government and impose president's rule. That can happen. That is the nuclear option, but it can happen if the situation comes to that. Now,
and that then will be the beginning of an entirely new political circus, because Sushant, you do understand, the minute the centre talks about president's rule, hell will break loose. And in the meanwhile, what happens?
Hell is breaking loose, yeah.
Punjab security.
Isn't hell breaking loose right now?
Virtually.
What is happening right now? Is life, property, the liberty of citizens safe?
I can't disagree with you on that as well, Sushant Sareen. I can't disagree with you on that, and those visuals are telling their own story. And that's how precariously Punjab's security and this country's security, ladies and gentlemen, is resting. Can we ask the state government to just wake up and understand what the security of Punjab should be, given that it is a border state? And can we also ask the Center for Intervention, because if the state government can't do it, somebody will have to step in, because India cannot be held to ransom in the manner it is being in Punjab. We'll follow this story. This isn't dying anytime soon, because Amritpal Singh Sandhu's aid is going to be released tomorrow. And does that embolden such separatist activities, not just in Punjab, but also other parts of the country, including Kashmir? It's a huge issue that this country should worry about. Thank you very much to my panelists joining me on debate number 1. On the other side, ladies and gentlemen, full tamasha erupted today at the Delhi airport after Congress leader Pawan Khera was deplaned from an Indigo flight and taken into custody for making derogatory remarks against Prime Minister Modi. Congress cadres trooped onto the tarmac in protest, refusing to allow him to be taken away without an arrest warrant. Several party leaders got off the plane after Pawan Khera was deboarded and staged a dharna, flouting rules and causing major inconvenience to the public, which was waiting for the plane to take off. Let's take a look at how hell broke loose today. Take a look at these visuals.
दिल्ली पुलिस और असम पुलिस वो उन्होंने हमारे जहाज को रोक रखा है जबरदस्ती। कहते हैं कि सब कुछ मुजबानी है हेमंतो बिस्वा शर्मा ने दिया है। हेमंतो बिस्वा शर्मा कोई भगवान है? असम पुलिस पवन खेड़ा को गिरफ्तार करना चाहती है, ले जाइए।
आपको अरेस्ट कर लिया गया, ये कुछ बताया तो उन्होंने।
जी,
क्या कारण है, कोई डॉक्यूमेंट किया उन्होंने?
अभी देखते हैं, ये लंबी लड़ाई है, लड़ने को तैयार है।
The matter then went up to the Supreme Court, and today itself, after an unconditional apology, Pawan Khera managed to get interim bail from the Delhi court. His lawyer, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, pointed out to the court that Khera had already clarified and apologized, saying that he was genuinely confused. But when Times Now confronted Pawan Khera after his release, he said that he will continue to fight for justice. The Congress, meanwhile, alleged that it was harassment in Modi style. Let's also listen in to the BJP's retort. The BJP claimed that after abusing the Prime Minister, the Congress leader was playing the victim card. Listen in.
इस महान देश की महान लोकतंत्र आराम से और न्यायिक प्रणाली पर, प्रक्रिया पर मुझे पूरा भरोसा है। आज मुंह पे मत मारो। मेरी अभिव्यक्ति की स्वतंत्रता की रक्षा इसी न्याय प्रणाली ने की है, इसको मैं बार बार सलाम करता हूं। सच की जो लड़ाई है उस रास्ते में कई बार संघर्ष करने पड़ते हैं। मैं संघर्ष कर रहा हूं, मेरी पूरी पार्टी, मेरे नेता राहुल गांधी जिस तरह से संघर्ष कर रहे हैं, मैं उनकी आवाज और लोकतंत्र की आवाज मजबूत करने में कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ूंगा।
पवन जी, अपने स्टेटमेंट में कुछ कहना है? जो
सब जुडिस है, सही वक्त पे जो मुझे बोलना होगा बोलूंगा।
कांग्रेस किस हद तक नीचे आ गई है, अब वो धरने प्रदर्शनों के लिए एयरपोर्ट पे जहाज को भी रोकना शुरू कर दिया। आज सुरजेवाला और उनके साथी इंडिगो की फ्लाइट के आगे धरने पर बैठे हैं, क्योंकि कांग्रेस के उनके साथी पवन खेड़ा देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी के पिताजी के खिलाफ अपशब्द बोले और उनसे पूछताछ भी ना हो। ये कैसा कानून है और ये कैसी डेमोक्रेसी है? मैं गांधी परिवार से पूछना चाहता हूं, ये कैसी डेमोक्रेसी है? आप देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी के पिता, स्वर्गवासी पिता के खिलाफ इस तरह के अपशब्द बोलें, गंदी भाषा का इस्तेमाल करें। किस कदर आप नीचे गिर गए हैं? और जब आपसे पूछताछ की जाए तो आप जहाजों के ऊपर धरना प्रदर्शन देके पब्लिक के लिए इनकन्वीनियंस करें।
उनके परिवार के सदस्यों के बारे में अपशब्द कहेंगे और उसके बाद विक्टिम कार्ड खेलेंगे। ये ओछी घटिया राजनीति केवल कांग्रेस पार्टी ही कर सकती है। खड़गे जी से ये अपील जरूर करना चाहेंगे कि ये गलतफहमी किसी भी नेता को नहीं होनी चाहिए कि वो जनता से ऊपर है, कानून से ऊपर है।
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me on the debate tonight, Rakesh Sinha, Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament, Tushar Gupta continues to be with us, Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst. But my first question goes to suspended Congress leader Dr. Sanjay Jha. And Dr. Sanjay Jha, I understand there is great politics that's going on between the Congress and the BJP, and that's really the job of political parties to sort out and do. But can you actually hold a plane load full of people to ransom because you have a political fight going on with the BJP, Dr. Sanjay Jha? And Mr. Pawan Khera apologizes in court and says he was genuinely confused. Yeah, really? I mean, you saw that statement on television, you saw his body language, you saw his pauses, you saw his smiles, and the whole country did. Confused? Really?
Navika, I think you have raised two very valid questions and they need to be responded to. Point number one, I will be very honest with you. I think the public discourse in our country between the parties, particularly between the BJP and the Congress, has touched an abysmal low. I also want to point out that I do hold that the leadership of the current government is significantly responsible for the pathetic standards of our political conversations. I don't want to go, once again repeating the laundry list of statements made by Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi when he attacked Sonia Gandhi ji by calling her a New Jersey cow. He called Rahul Gandhi a hybrid cow. He referred to Dr. Shashi Tharoor's wife as a 50-crore girlfriend. A country becomes like its leader, unfortunately. I do not endorse what Pawan said. Let me put that on record. I know that Pawan has offered an unconditional apology. I also would like to put it on record that I don't think it was something that happened as a slip of the tongue. It appeared to be, in my opinion, a deliberate statement. And I don't think these paint us at all in a good light. Now, let me answer your question on what happened in the aircraft. Navika, as citizens of the country, you are a news reader, very popular news reader. I also happen to be a civil society person. All of us should be worried when any political party sends policemen from another state to deplane a person as he's boarding an aircraft. And that is what triggered this entire tamasha that you're seeing on your screen. The Congress must have been appalled and aghast at the sudden police action. And I think in a great number of ways, they were doing what political parties do, is to demonstrate. I do hope, however, that the flight was not, delayed to an extent that it inconvenienced the passengers. That I totally agree with you on that point as well. What should worry us all is the way democracy is being throttled because there is political vendetta coming into the game. I also want to point out that the fundamental issue that the BJP will have to respond is on the relationship between Mr. Gautam Adani and the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. Today, the LIC investment has gone negative. The market capitalization of the Adani Group is down by $125 in billions. And he's overnight in a few weeks become the 27th richest man.
So that gives the Congress party the right to sit on the tarmac, to hold up planes, to call Narendra Modi as Narendra, not Damodar Das Modi, but Narendra Gautam Das Modi. It is all allowed because the Congress is asking questions, and therefore because police action is being taken, so it is death of democracy and death of freedom of speech. Rakesh Sinha, very easy. Matlab, do two wrongs make a right? I don't know if that's the Congress definition. But the Congress's question, do you really need to go as far as deplane somebody? Respond to that question as well.
No, I am really surprised. Sanjay Jha's entire answer is full of ambiguities. He could not justify Pawan Khera. At the same time, he tries to blame everything for the BJP. Here, question is that in democracy there is right to oppose, and it is the essence of democracy. If there is no right to oppose, democracy does not exist. But who stops you? In Rajya Sabha, when Prime Minister was speaking, entire opposition shouted slogans and tried to stop Prime Minister. Contrary to that, when Mr. Khadge was speaking as a leader opposition, entire Treasury bench, including Prime Minister of India, listening him carefully.
You expunged his
Despite the fact that he was making hundreds of the baseless allegations. Let me answer. I have not interrupted you.
That's not democracy.
Sanjay Jha, let me answer it. Sure. And now I am going to that. Congress party wants that democracy means, and Sanjay Jha is included in that, not only right to oppose, right to abuse. This is the fundamental right they want to make the law, the right to abuse. If someone is abusing and then giving unconditional apology, free him. Look, it is not the question of abusing an apology. It is the question of the harm you have done to the parliamentary democracy. Democracy depends on the dialogue, and dialogue is that you are abusing the father of a prime minister. Here I am debating with Sanjay Jha. Suppose I get defeated in the debate, I lack the logic and I start abusing his father. Navika, will you justify? Will the law of the land justify? Will the law of the morality justify? Is it ethical? You are going here and there. There are hundreds of the issues where we can debate. But here the question of debate is abusing the Prime Minister's father, abusing his mother, abusing the parents of the Prime Minister, the person sitting on the constitutional position. The Prime Minister who claims the entire world that India is the oldest form of democracy. He's quoting, he's unsettling the Western civilizational discourse about democracy, and you are abusing your own Prime Minister. There are hundreds of the occasions when you can oppose Prime Minister. You can make, you have been making since 2014 baseless accusation.
Absolutely.
Sanjay Jha in Congress.
That's what democracy is all about.
Let me finish.
That's.
Can I come in?
Complete your point, Rakesh ji.
Can I come into
just one sentence, Navika ji. I am telling you that when you are making a position of Bharatiya Janata Party, Modi ji, and you are supporting BBC, you are supporting all the external forces who are opposed to BJP, we don't have any grudge. We just fight with you politically. But I am telling you, who demoralized and devalued democracy? Majrool Sultanpuri was arrested by Nehru in 1951. He just has a song, the मन में जहर डॉलर के बसा के फिरती है भारत की अहिंसा, ये भी कोई हिटलर का है चेला, कॉमनवेल्थ का दास है नेहरू. Now calling Nehru as a slave of Commonwealth.
आप लोग लिए हैं सिन्हा जी.
Let the Congress party to arrest him.
अरे नाज़ी और हिटलर से तो आप
let the Congress party to arrest him. Now if that is the parameter, if that is a parameter,
Majrool Sultanpuri is not the only case. Majrool Sultanpuri is not the only case. Let me also bring to your notice, Tehseen Poonawalla, the cases of a businessman saying something about P. Chidambaram or Karti Chidambaram, and he was arrested. And that was when Mr. Chidambaram was the finance minister. तब emergency नहीं लगी हुई थी. तब फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच नहीं है किसी बिजनेसमैन को. तब तो आपने अरेस्ट कर लिया था. असीम त्रिवेदी, कार्टूनिस्ट, he was arrested, and the Congress party today comes out and talks about emergency in the country. My friend, abusing people, and this is despite the Supreme Court and Justice Madan Lokur in 2018, 7th of March, giving an order in Supreme Court saying that constitutional positions, especially those of the Prime Minister, are positions where language of this kind should not be used. Despite that, it's a free for all. My friend, if you're expecting any respect, you have to first give respect. No, otherwise it's a free for all. And you can't be complaining, Tehseen Poonawalla.
I agree, Navika. But just because I may not be a great chef does not mean I don't have right to complain about somebody else whose food is terrible. So that's a terrible logic to to give. The Congress was terrible. It brought in the emergency, the terrible thing that Sanjay is right. Therefore, the Congress was voted out of power and the BJP promised to bring in new India. Now, night after night, I'm on your show, a fantastic show. And many evenings I oppose Rakesh ji or Tushar ji. But I will stand for their right to say what they have to say. That is what democracy is. If the Honorable Prime Minister was insulted or his father was insulted, the legal recourse to that, as per the Constitution of India, is a defamation case by the Prime Minister of India. It is not 153A. That is the wrong precedents to send. And if you say that the Prime Minister should not be attacked on virtue of him being Prime Minister, then the most Honorable Prime Minister saying, why is your surname Nehru, not Gandhi? They were also Prime Ministers of the country. The most Honorable Prime Minister whose speech was expunged in Parliament saying Manmohan Singh raincoat pen ke naate, that is also abuse. Telling the widow of a martyr Prime Minister Congress ki vidwa, that is also insulting a Prime Minister. Look, the fact is, if the Prime Minister was offended, no third party had a right to go to police. The Prime Minister should have filed a defamation case. I repeat, I am offended. I may disagree with Rakesh ji or Tushar ji, but Sanjay and I will stand for the right to say what they want. File a defamation case. You cannot arrest somebody under 153. That is wrong. That is against our constitution, and it is the duty of this government.
Tushar Gupta, you know, people of this country, you know, 153A, people of this country cannot file an FIR and the police cannot take any action, and those clauses just exist in the IPC because they are for decoration. And the Prime Minister must himself file a defamation case. Is this even logic that is being given by Tehseen Poonawalla?
You know, I like how Mr. Pawan Khera has gone from कॉम तो गौतम दास जी वाला करते हैं to अरे हमारा तो slip of tongue हो गया था. If you said something intentionally, stand up, say that you said it, admit it. Why do you want to chicken out in front of the law enforcement agencies? Pawan Khera was very clear when he said काम तो गौतम दास का करते हैं. He was not having any slip of tongue. Nevertheless, Navika, I hope Rahul Gandhi's faith in the judiciary has been restored today. Because I know even the most influential people in this country do not get a Supreme Court hearing in 2 hours, but Pawan Khera was able to. So I hope when the Congress leader says that the judiciary is a sellout, his faith today is restored. Number 3, the Congress has all the right to protest. I mean, being out of power, that's the best they can do. But to protest on the tarmac of a runway, I mean, if this was a common person doing this, he would first be thrashed by the police there, then questioned, then put on the no-flying list. The Congress somehow has the audacity to sit on the tarmac, delay a flight with common citizens and protest there. They could have protested outside the airport. They could have protested on the headquarters. What logic it is to protest on the tarmac of all places? It's a security situation. Number 4, you know, night after night we keep hearing this rhetoric from all the Congress or ex-Congress leaders that there is death of democracy, there is this, there is that. The rhetorics at the end of the day make no sense. I'm not saying that the arrest of Pawan Khera was justified, and the interim bail proves that. But at the end you need to find BJP on policy. If you have to get the BJP to be voted out, you have to fight them on policy. Your spokesperson are either indulging in ambiguous rhetorics.
What happens to the citizens of India? What about the rights? What about the rights of those people today who were stranded on that plane, stranded on the tarmac after they had paid for their tickets? The Congress did not pay for their tickets, and after they had been delayed. After all, no value for their time, no value for the common man. And is this only about politics between the Congress and the BJP? I strongly differ with this. To me, I think the Congress party just forgot that they are not so special, that people of this country have to decide who they choose, and those people who buy their tickets have the right to fly away on time, even if there were no congressmen on the flight with them. What about the rights of the common man? Would somebody bother about them as well? Let's leave it at that. Thank you very much to my panelists for joining me on this debate. And thank you viewers for joining me on the Newshour tonight. Good night, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow on the same show, the Newshour at 9.
$110 mm extra
लंबा व्हील बेस, सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा जगह। यह है कहानी BMW 3GL की। नमस्ते टाइम्स ड्राइव फैमिली, आई एम क्रांति संभव। वेलकम टू द फर्स्ट ड्राइव रिव्यू ऑफ BMW 3 सीरीज GL यानी ग्रैंड लिमोजीन, जो ऑब्वियसली रेगुलर 3 सीरीज से ज्यादा लंबी है व्हील बेस के हिसाब से। कुछ एक चेंजेस इसमें हुए हैं, तो इस वजह से ये हम वीडियो कर रहे हैं उन चेंजेस के बारे में बताने के लिए और ये भी जानने के लिए कि जो दावा है कंपनी का सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा आराम का, ज्यादा स्पेस का, वो दावा पूरा हो पा रहा है या नहीं। सो बिफोर आई स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस कार, सबसे पहले टाइम्स ड्राइव के बारे में आपसे बात करता हूं या अपील करता हूं। अभी तक अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कीजिए हमारे चैनल को, और सोशल मीडिया पर बाकी जो भी हैंडल्स हैं वहां पर टाइम्स ड्राइव के नाम से आप सर्च करें, उसे भी फॉलो करें। लेटेस्ट खबरें आपको मिलेंगी और timesdrive.in है हमारा वेबसाइट, वहां पर तो लेटेस्ट खबरों के अलावा डिस्काउंट्स और जो स्पाई पिक्स हैं, आने वाली गाड़ियां हैं, उन सब के बारे में खबरें मिलेंगी। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट दिस स्टोरी। हम बात करते हैं BMW 3GL की। क्रांति संभव रिपोर्टिंग फ्रॉम द सेकंड रो ऑफ BMW 3GL। आमतौर पर ये वाला हिस्सा स्टोरी में बाद में आता है, लेकिन जब यूएसपी यही है तो फिर व्हाई नॉट स्टार्ट द स्टोरी विद दिस। और यहाँ पे सबसे पहली चीज जो मैं देख पा रहा हूँ उसमें कुछ बताने की जरूरत भी नहीं है। आई एम 6'3", बावजूद इसके लेग रूम, नी रूम आप देख सकते हैं कितनी ज्यादा मुझे यहाँ पर मिल रही है, यानी बहुत ज्यादा आरामदेह आपको ये एक्स्ट्रा जो व्हील बेस है, एक्स्ट्रा जो इसका लेंथ है, वो आपको सेकेंड रो में देने वाला है, काफी ज्यादा एक्स्ट्रा आराम स्पेस के हिसाब से। और दूसरी चीज जो मुझे खास लग रही है, थाई सपोर्ट काफी आगे तक है, इसका बेंच जो है काफी ब्रॉड है, तो वहां पे आप लंबी दूरी पर काफी आरामदेह तरीके से जा सकते हैं। एवरेज इंडियन हाइट के लिए तो ये जगह काफी है, लेकिन ये जगह एडिक्वेट होगी क्योंकि मेरी हाइट के लिए अगर मैं कहूँ तो यहाँ पर अगर मैं थोड़ा सा अपराइट बैठूं तो यहाँ पर ये मेरा सर टच कर रहा है, बट अगेन आई एम नॉट एवरेज इंडियन हाइट, थोड़ा सा मैं ज्यादा लंबा हूँ। तो ओवरऑल स्पेशियस, कंफर्टेबल मुझे लग रही है 2 लोगों के लिए खास तौर पर, और वैसे 3 लोगों की भी जगह है, लेकिन यहाँ पर ये जो हिस्सा है बैकरेस्ट, वहां पर आपको आर्मरेस्ट मिलेगा, यहाँ पर फोन वगैरह या टैबलेट वगैरह रखने की जगह है, और प्लस
हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं मोहुल, who is founder and CEO of Matter. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So Mohul, we've already seen this bike. I still don't know what you guys going to call it right now, but hopefully, we're going to know about it in a couple of months, I believe, and more details that we already know about specifications and what you are offering with this bike. But उसके अलावा कुछ और चीज़ें हैं जिनकी डिटेल्स अभी आनी बाकी हैं। सो इस बाइक को लेकर थोड़ा टाइमलाइन, इफ यू कैन एक्सप्लेन किस तरह का टाइमलाइन रहने वाला है एंड कब इसका ऑफिशियली लॉन्च आप करने वाले हैं।
Definitely. So first thing is at the Auto Expo we have also showcased the 6 kilowatt version of the bike. So at launch we had a 5 kilowatt version. Now we also have a 6 kilowatt version of the bike. And in terms of timeline, in the next 30 days we will be giving out the spec variants and pricing to the larger market. We will be opening up bookings for the Matter motorbike this quarter, and deliveries summer में शुरू हो जाने वाली है।
शुरू हो जाएंगी। So एक चीज़ जो बहुत ही टेक्नोलॉजी का हूँ इंटरेस्टिंग है इस बाइक के बारे में, इसमें गियर है। इलेक्ट्रिक बाइक होने के साथ साथ इसमें वो आइस वाला
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the News Hour Agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. Today, the scenes that came out of Punjab should leave you more scared than ashamed. A Khalistani supporter, in fact an active advocate of Punjab's secession from India, was allowed to not just run riot in Amritsar, but even dictate his terms to the state and police of Punjab. Amritpal Singh, a man who was given an open call for Khalistan, today gave an ultimatum to the Punjab police that by this evening, his supporter, Lovepreet Tufan Singh, should be released. And guess what? Amritpal Singh got his way. Suddenly, the police decided that there wasn't enough evidence against Lovepreet Tufan Singh, who stands accused of kidnapping, to keep him in jail.
क्या सहमति बनी सर पुलिस ऑफिसर से क्या बात
पर्चा कैंसल वो कहते होया सीपी साहब ने साइन कर दिते हैं इनक्वायरी ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਿੱਟ ਬੈਠੀ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਇਹ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਐਵੀਡੈਂਸ ਨਵੇਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਪਰਚਾ ਝੂਠਾ ਦਰਜ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਮਿਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਪਰਚਾ ਵੀ ਦਰਜ ਲਿਖਤੀ ਰੂਪ ਚ ਦੇਤਾ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਰਿਹਾਈ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਵਾਅਦਾ ਕੀਤਾ
ਸਰ ਧਰਨਾ ਜਾਰੀ ਰਹੇਗਾ ਚਲੇ ਜਾएंगे ਵੀ
ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਅਮਰ ਸੰਚਾਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ
We have SSP with us. So, sir, what is the final outcome? We have seen there is a lot of...
is the person we have arrested in this case. These people, they have given us a sufficient evidence that he is not present on the spot. So we are going to discharge him tomorrow. And the rest sit has been formed. And whatever the outcome of the sit will be, so we'll take action accordingly.
A lot of questions are being raised over the police. Why he was arrested? Because today Amritpal, he has clearly said that he is coming here. If there is anything against him, he can be arrested here. So why he was arrested by the police?
So as I have said, during investigation, evidence is on the file. So now the evidence which these people they have given, it is in his favor. So we're going to discharge him.
But I have learned, you have already said SIT has been formed. SIT has been formed for what? Now they are going
investigate the case. To investigate the case.
But the second accused will be discharged. That is very clear.
Not the second. The only one accused who is arrested, he will be discharged. Because uska evidence, the evidence about him they have given. So we are satisfied that he is not present on the spot.
The way they have already said that tomorrow they are coming here, after discharging that person will be brought by the police and...
We'll see what happens tomorrow. Thank you.
Why exactly did the Punjab police suddenly wake up to the innocence of Amritpal Singh's aide Tufan Singh? Well, maybe it had to do with these scenes that India was witness to through the day. First, take a look at this. Bulldozer-like vehicles, a truck was used to ram into barricades put up by the police. Khalistan supporters with Amritpal Singh were armed with swords, staffs and spears. Men who clearly gave two hoots about the rule of law, and the police did absolutely nothing. Now take a look at how these men then surrounded the police station in Ajnala. One pities the policemen there. Take a look at how they were pretty much thrown to the dogs. What do you expect these cops to do? They didn't fire once in the air. Not one case has been filed against these men who were running around armed with swords. Instead, the police was left to fend for themselves, armed merely with some lathis and a shield. You had all of these Khalistan supporters coming at them with swords, and the Chief Minister stayed absolutely quiet. In fact, when he was expected to order a crackdown to say that the heavy hand of the law should be used against these anarchists, what did Bhagwant Mann do? He appealed to these men, these anarchists, to maintain calm.
Punjab ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਦੀ social bonding ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਲਈ ਮੰਨੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਾਤਾਂ ਪਾਤਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਧਰਮਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਮਨੁੱਖਤਾ ਦਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਵੀ ਮਨੁੱਖਤਾ ਦਾ ਸੁਨੇਹਾ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ 3 ਕਰੋੜ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੁਣਿਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੱਕ 'ਚ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਲੈ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਬਾਕੀ ਲਾਅ ਐਂਡ ਆਰਡਰ ਜਿੱਤਾ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ सही है कंट्रोल च है
Which makes one ask,
has the state government in Punjab decided to surrender to these anti-national, anti-social, extra-constitutional elements? Has the police let down the very cause of justice by letting free a man accused of and arrested for kidnapping? And have these series of events in Punjab in the recent past shown that in the absence of a strong, decisive state, a dangerous pro-Khalistan sentiment is not just being fanned, but is also being emboldened in Punjab?
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
R.P. Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP, political analyst Ramneek Maan, advocate Iman Singh Khara, secretary of legal affairs Waris Punjab De, the Jathebandi of Bhai Amritpal Singh, political analyst Parvinder Singh Sethi and Sanjeev Kaushik are all joining me live. I want to start by asking you, Mr. Sethi, ये तूफान सिंह के खिलाफ जो FIR था, वो क्यों withdraw किया जा रहा है? Why is that FIR being withdrawn? And why is he being set free? A man accused of kidnapping.
नहीं देखिए, अभी एसएसपी साहब ने जो बोला है कि उनको एविडेंस मिली है कि ही इज नॉट इन्वॉल्व्ड इन इट, इस वजह से उसको छोड़ा जा रहा है।
तो
लेकिन जहां तक
तो फिर अमृतपाल सिंह को बना दीजिए एसएसपी। अगर एसएसपी साहब अमृतपाल सिंह से एविडेंस लेकर के डिसीजन ले रहे हैं तो अमृतपाल सिंह को एसएसपी बना दीजिए।
आपने ही दिखाया है।
हाँ, मैंने दिखाया है क्योंकि मैं
अभी आपके चैनल में दिखाया है जो वहां की पुलिस अधिकारी हैं,
महकमे का एसएसपी कह रहा है
उन्होंने कहा कि
हमने एक आदमी को अरेस्ट किया किडनैपिंग के लिए, हमने एफआईआर लिखा, हमने 5 दिन उस आदमी को जेल में रखा। अब अमृतपाल सिंह बोल रहा है कि भाई ये आदमी इनोसेंट है तो हमने छोड़ दिया। कैसे छोड़ दिया? अमृतपाल सिंह ने कहा ये लो एविडेंस। अरे अमृतपाल सिंह अगर आयो है, अमृतपाल सिंह के पास एविडेंस है तो अमृतपाल सिंह को एसएसपी बनाओ।
नहीं, अगर आपके जो पुलिस अधिकारी हैं पंजाब के, जो एसएसपी हैं, उन्होंने कहा कि वी आर सेटिस्फाइड विद द एविडेंस।
अगर किसी व्यक्ति को कोई व्यक्ति इनोसेंट है और पुलिस को उसके जो आदमी खालिस्तान मांग रहा है, अब पुलिस वाले उसकी सुनेंगे। ये दिन आ गए पंजाब में कि अमृतपाल सिंह चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया की तरह जाता है पुलिस थाने में और कहता है मेरे पास एविडेंस है। अरे हो कौन भाई तुम? किसने मांगा आपसे एविडेंस? एविडेंस पुलिस देगी या अमृतपाल सिंह देगा? नहीं, खालिस्तान का जो इशू है वो अलग इशू है, उसको अलग इशू अलग है
करा जाएगा।
वो आदमी आज के दिन खालिस्तान की बात कर रहा है, वो देश के होम मिनिस्टर को थ्रेटन कर रहा है, कह रहा है कि तुम्हारा हश्रम इंदिरा गांधी जैसा करेंगे। वो आदमी तलवारें लेकर के अपने लोगों को सड़क पे छोड़ता है और उस आदमी की बात एसएसपी साहब सुन रहे हैं। ये है पंजाब की हालत आज।
नहीं, अगर नहीं, जो पुलिस के जो जिम्मेवार एसएसपी हैं, अगर वो सेटिस्फाइड हैं किसी एविडेंस के साथ, तो आप वहां की पुलिस को चैलेंज कर रहे हैं, वहां के एसएसपी को चैलेंज कर रहे हैं।
बिल्कुल कर रहे हैं सर, आरपी सिंह बिल्कुल कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि अगर पुलिस एक खालिस्तान सिंपथाइजर की सुनने लग गया तो भगवान ही मालिक है, पुलिस का भी और पंजाब का भी। आरपी सिंह,
जब वहां पर आप गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी के नाम पर लोग इकट्ठे कर उनको आप थाने को कब्जा कर लेंगे और उसके बाद आप एविडेंस देंगे और वहां पर तोड़फोड़ होगी, वहां 6 पुलिस वालों को मारा जाएगा, पीटा जाएगा, पंजाबी में कहते हैं फट्टड़ कर दिया जाएगा, उसके बारे में क्या कहना है? चलिए, आप लोग एविडेंस सेटिस्फाई हो गए, परंतु ये जो 6 लोग पुलिस वाले इंजर्ड है, हॉस्पिटलाइज्ड है, फट्टड़ है, इनके बारे में मुकदमा कब दर्ज होगा? जिन लोगों ने इनको फट्टड़ किया, जो इसको लीड कर रहा था, उसके बारे में कब बोलेंगे?
13 पुलिस वाले, 13 policemen, Mr. Sethi, are injured today. 13 policemen. I want to show you a picture actually of a policeman who was left bloodied. 13 policemen injured. Not one case has been registered, Mr. Sethi. एसएसपी साहब अपने पुलिस वालों की देखने की बजाय अमृतपाल सिंह की सुन रहे हैं। पुलिस वाले पिट रहे हैं, बेचारे वहां लेटे पड़े हैं, एक एफआईआर तक नहीं हो रही है।
नहीं, देखिए आप पुलिस अथॉरिटी जो वहां की संवैधानिक संस्था है, आप उसको चैलेंज कर रहे हैं। अगर किसी ने कुछ करा है, उनके ऊपर केस दर्ज होंगे, उनके ऊपर एक्शन होगा और उनको अरेस्ट करा जाएगा। अगर किसी व्यक्ति ने उनके ऊपर हमला करा है, उनको अरेस्ट करा जाएगा।
कब होगा? 13 policemen are injured today. Not one case has been filed. Not one case, RP Singh.
They were there. Why didn't the police arrest those who has beaten the policeman, who has slashed the policeman, who has injured the policeman? Why didn't the police arrest those? But let's understand the real issue, Padmaja. It is the payback time of the आम आदमी पार्टी गवर्नमेंट। ये वापस कर्जा उतार रहे हैं किस्तों में, जिनका समर्थन लेकर इनकी सरकार बनी। गुंडों की, माफियाज की, खालिस्तानीज की, रेडिकल्स की, उनकी सरकार का पे बैक टाइम है। इनके स्पीकर जाते हैं कुलतार सिंह कनाडा में, वहां जाकर उसका स्वागत करते हैं खालिस्तानी, उनके साथ भोजन करते हैं, फोटो डालते हैं अपने सोशल मीडिया के ऊपर, और यहाँ पर अरविंद केजरीवाल आंखों पे पट्टी बांधकर बैठे रहते हैं।
संजीव कौशिक,
अभी आज क्या अरविंद केजरीवाल का एक ट्वीट आया सारे इशू के ऊपर।
संजीव कौशिक क्यों चुप है? Not one word from Bhagwant Mann, from any minister on lawlessness, open lawlessness. RP Singh says this is payback time. आप बोल ही नहीं सकते इनके खिलाफ। संजीव कौशिक,
देखिए पद्मजा, भारतीय सब कोई जानता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी किस तरह से उन्माद पैदा करके ध्रुवीकरण की राजनीति करती है, और वो चाहती है कि पंजाब में अस्थिरता का माहौल बने। पंजाब बिल्कुल इस तरह से नहीं होने जा रहा है जिस तरह से आज से 10 साल 5 साल पहले तक पंजाब की स्थिति थी। पंजाब धीरे धीरे अमन चैन के रास्ते पर जाता हुआ दिखाई दे रहा है। आप पैदा करना चाहते हैं। ये कौन है अमृतपाल सिंह? ये कौन है अमृतपाल सिंह? अमृतपाल सिंह वारिस ने पंजाब का प्रमुख है, जो जिस सिद्धू की तस्वीरें देश के प्रधानमंत्री के साथ वायरल हुई थी, उस सिद्धू जो 1 साल पहले सड़क दुर्घटना में मारा गया, उस सिद्धू के साथ उसकी तस्वीरें वायरल।
आपको सरकार चलाने में
आरपी सिंह साहब मुझे बोल लेने दीजिए ना। आरपी सिंह साहब मुझे बोल लेने दीजिए। सच सुनिए, वो सच तो सुनिए।
चलिए अगर मान लेते हैं, एक सेकंड मिस्टर कौशिक ठीक है, चलिए दीप सिद्धू और वारिस पंजाब डे बीजेपी का फ्रंट है, सरकार किसकी है? सरकार तो आम आदमी पार्टी की है ना। मैं कह रही हूं आप दीप सिद्धू को, ये अमृतपाल सिंह को और जो भी बीजेपी में उनको सपोर्ट कर रहा है, उन सबको उठा के जेल में डाल दीजिए। ऑन दिस डे when these men were on the streets of अजनाला, कौन सा प्रधानमंत्री, कौन सा बीजेपी आपको रोक रहा था in arresting these men? Arrest whole bunch of them, arrest them. Who's stopping you?
आतंकवादियों को प्लेन पे बैठा के कंधार तक ले जाने वाले भारतीय जनता पार्टी से सवाल पूछेंगे कि कितने लोगों की जान से फंसी हुई थी, किस तरह का कदम उठाया गया?
में है ना, आप जब कंधार भगवान न करे दोबारा होगा, आप कतई मत भाव कीजिएगा। आज के दिन किसने रोका अरेस्ट होने में?
पंजाब में
आज के दिन किसने रोका?
पंजाब में दंगा हो जाए। आप क्या चाहती हैं कि पंजाब में दंगा हो जाए और भारतीय जनता पार्टी उस पर वोटों की राजनीति करे और सरकार अस्थिर हो जाए? भारतीय जनता पार्टी तो चाहती ही है। ये पुलिस के सूझबूझ का परिणाम है। अब इससे ज़्यादा क्या हो सकता है कि एसएसपी ने एसआईटी गठित कर दी, उसके ऊपर जांच आयोग गठित कर दी गई और जांच की जा रही है। उससे पहले की स्थिति को संभालने के लिए यदि वहाँ की पुलिस ने ये कदम उठाया है तो आप उसकी आलोचना कर रही हैं।
रमनीक मान, यू शुड बी अपलॉडिंग। ये तो सूझबूझ है। If these men would have been stopped, there would have been riots. What a great thing the police has done. What a lovely thing. This is how law and order should be maintained. Ramneek Man.
This is exactly how you bring down the morale of a force, a very potent police force which has controlled Punjab from the worst situation that it had faced post-independence. This is exactly how you bring their morale down, and it is pre-planned. Now, when you say whether the government has capitulated, now I would ask a different question, whether they are in collaboration with these people. Why is this happening? Why is this happening to begin with? Why was the arrest made? And why is Amritpal investigating it? If the police had made a correct arrest, they should have stood their ground. And if their arrest was wrong, it should have gone to the court. And the court should have examined that whether this FIR is a correct FIR or it's a wrong FIR. Now I feel, over the years, slowly they've normalized the, Khalistan, the talk about Khalistan, getting processions out on the roads, the same police which has been at the receiving end of kirpans, lathis and dandas of these goons was protecting these when they were taking out processions in favor of Khalistan. Who was providing them security? It was the Home Minister of Punjab, which is again the Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann. And talking about the bravado of Amritpal, I must tell you this, Padmaja, that this vehicle that you see is used in the Vihir. It has Guru Granth Sahib, the Jivant Guru that we believe. It has Guru Granth Sahib inside. There is a man you can see who's jara chavar chala raha piche.
Yeah, the yellow van, yes.
Shri Guru Granth Sahib, he's hiding behind, he's pushing the bus. He's pushing this bus. He's hiding behind. And he's using these people, and he had actually provoked people that I might get arrested today. So, on two accounts, that I am going to take Guru Granth Sahib along.
Shocking.
Guru Granth Sahib, you are using people's sentiment, and then you are attacking and taking over a police station. Now somebody was saying.
No, wait, let me get Advocate Iman Singh Khara to respond to this. You take the Guru Granth Sahib in a situation like this, not just disrespecting it, but also trying to create a law and order situation. Advocate Khara?
Imagine,
how can this be allowed in any civilized society?
See, ma'am, what all has happened today, only two institutions are responsible for it, two parties. One is the central government, other is the state government. These both governments are creating repression on the Sikhs. See, first of all, a false case was registered against Amritpal Singh. A person who drives a car of ₹1 crore, will he snatch ₹2,000 and a phone?
Sir, you will not decide, Mr. Khara, that you or your group will not decide whether it is fake case or good case or correct case, and you will not investigate. The Punjab police will investigate it.
1 crore car will snatch ₹2,000 from any person. This is just that by Amritpal. These both BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, they don't like Amrit Sanchar, they don't like Sikhs. So they planted this false case on Amritpal Singh, on Lovpreet Singh Tufan, and that's why after
no peace can be established without weapons. Is that why Bhagwant Mann has given you over 100 armed licenses? Is that why? Is this not collaboration?
First of all, hold on a second. Let me just give the backdrop of this entire case to the viewers. On the 15th of February, there is an FIR on the complaint of a man called Varinder Singh. He says that Tufan Singh, who's an aide of Amritpal Singh, tried to kidnap him, beat him up. Now an FIR was registered by the Punjab police. They were investigating the case. 5 days later, suddenly they decide, based on what Amritpal Singh says, that the case does not stand. And the man wasn't even present at the spot. So one, it reflects so poorly on the Punjab police that they kept a innocent, supposedly man, booked for 5 days, or two, that they have completely capitulated in the front of people like Amritpal Singh. So your logic of, we found evidence doesn't hold, sir, because you are a nobody to dictate to the Punjab police. This is still a democracy where the rule of law runs. You will not decide who is innocent and who is guilty. The police and the court will decide it, point number one. Point number two, you answer the question raised by Ramneek Mann. Why did you take the Guru Granth Sahib in this extremely volatile situation? What were you trying to do? What was Amritpal Singh trying to do? You were trying to hide behind the holy book. You were trying to create a law and order situation. You have no right to do this. You were trying to set Punjab on fire.
Blasphemy. You are committing blasphemy by calling Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji a book. It's a living Guru of the Sikhs. And the Sikh
you
Guru
committed a sin by taking it there. Ramneek Mann.
मैं कहना जी श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहब ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਸਰੂਪ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਯੂ ਟੈਲ ਮੀ ਦਿਸ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਸਰੂਪ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਦੱਸੋ
ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਅਗਵਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ
ਕਿਉਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਸਰੂਪ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥਾਣੇ ਦੇ ਘਰਾਵ ਚ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਸਰੂਪ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਓਗੇ ਇਸ ਦਿਸ ਵਾਟ ਇਟ ਹੈਜ਼ ਕਮ ਡਾਊਨ ਟੂ ਇਹ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ? ਇਸ ਦਿਸ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਭੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ, ਬੇਅਦਬੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਆਈ'll tell you now, Padmaja, let me answer this. Oh ईमान सिंह खारा, बेईमान सिंह, listen Mr. बेईमान सिंह खारा, ओ बेईमान सिंह खारा जी, सुनो मेरी गल, सुनो मेरी गल। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੇਅਦਬੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਸਰੂਪ ਨੂੰ, why did you take ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸਰੂਪ in such a situation? This is ਬੇਅਦਬੀ। why did you take ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸਰੂਪ? Why did ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੰਗ 'ਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ when you are, and Maharaj Sahib Swaroop is at the forefront?
Should you apologize?
That is for the army to do, not for you to do.
Mr. Amritpal Singh, Mr. Khara apologize for what he has done.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੇਅਦਬੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ।
I want to say to this man who is without any man samman that pointed mustaches don't mean that you have any knowledge about Sikhi. You have zero knowledge about Sikhi.
You Mr. ਬੇਈਮਾਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਰਾ, listen to me. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਸਟੀਫਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਯੂਥ ਨੂੰ, ਅਗਲੀ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਮਰਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਤਿਆਰੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਰ ਦੇਣੇ ਆ। ਕਾਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਿਰ ਦੇਣੇ ਆ ਭਾਈ? ਤੂੰ ਕੌਣ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਿਰ ਮੰਗਣ ਵਾਲਾ? Who are you? ਇਹਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਸਰੂਪ ਚਾਹੇ ਦਿਨ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ? ਬੇਈਮਾਨ ਸਿੰਘ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛੋ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਪਾਲ ਨੂੰ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਸਰੂਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਏ ਦਿਨ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਹੋਏ? It's not even a year since he has been baptized. ਉਹ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਸਾਲ ਤੱਕ ਯਾਰ ਦਾੜੀ ਬਾਲ।
Let's be very clear over here. You are nobody to preach either religion or who is a devout Sikh, or to preach what is the correct law and what is the correct FIR to anyone. This is a secular democratic country where the rule of law will dictate, not you and your boss Mr. Amritpal Singh. Now let me bring back Mr. RP Singh and Parvinder Sethi. RP Singh, you are saying that this is not just collusion, it is collaboration and it's payback. Why would the Aam Aadmi Party have anything to do with people who are beating up their own policemen?
No, I mean, they can't take action against Amritpal because Sikh for Justice has categorically said that I supported you, you took my support, you took my money in elections, now you better behave and help us out to spread the word of Khalistan. And Amritpal, this was our pre-plan. Ramneek Maan was rightly saying that he took shield of Sahib Shri Guru Granth Sahib and then came with Shri Guru Granth Sahib so that police can't hit him, police can't reach out to him, and then he captured a police station and then dictated his terms. So this is all pre-planned, and Bhagwant Mann was sitting with some investors meet which he didn't got a single penny, didn't sign a single agreement for investment. He was intentionally sitting in investment meet.
Mr.
So
Sethi, you just take a look. You take a look at this man. Today he gets beaten. Along with him, another dozen policemen have been beaten. What is the morale of the Punjab police going to be? Knowing कि वो पिटेंगे at the hands of some random men और कोई कुछ नहीं करेगा, कुछ नहीं होगा, it will be hushed up.
नहीं, क्यों नहीं करेगा? नहीं, गवर्नमेंट विल टेक एक्शन। देखिए आरपी सिंह जी इसको गलत तरीके से मोड़ रहे हैं। आप देखिए ना, अगर हजारों लोग इकट्ठे होते हैं, उनके सेंटीमेंट्स को देखा जाता है। अगर कोई इनोसेंट आदमी है, पुलिस का अफसर कह रहा है वो इनोसेंट है, बाकी इश्यूज अलग है। अगर जब जिस तरह से आपने किसान आंदोलन के अंदर 800 किसानों की मौत हो गई, आपने 1 साल तक उनको पूछा नहीं, आपको पब्लिक के बारे में, पब्लिक के सेंटीमेंट्स के बारे में कुछ नहीं मालूम। 800 किसान मर जाते हैं और 1 साल तक।
परविंदर सेठी साहब, आपको वो किसान याद है? थोड़ा ना सेकंड, आपको ये नहीं पता सेठी साहब, आज सुबह का पेपर उठा के पढ़िए, आज भी पंजाब में किसान अगेंस्ट प्रोक्योरमेंट प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं। पंजाब में पंजाब के किसान प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं। वो प्रोटेस्ट आपको नहीं दिख रहा, आपको फार्म लॉ प्रोटेस्ट ही याद है। आप 2 साल का भूल जाइए, आज का पेपर पढ़िए, आज भी पंजाब के किसान पंजाब की सरकार के खिलाफ प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं। पॉइंट नंबर 1। पॉइंट नंबर 2, आई वांट यू टू लिसन टू समथिंग अगेन वेरी स्कैरी दैट हैपेंड। You've seen so far images of men with swords and staff. Now listen to how in broad daylight, outside the police station in Amritsar, Khalistan slogans were being raised. Listen to this. believe, Kaushik, that अगर पुलिस के प्रेजेंस में पुलिस स्टेशन से स्टोन्स डिस्टेंस पे खालिस्तान जिंदाबाद के स्लोगन्स लग रहे हैं, तो ये सब के सब जेल में क्यों नहीं है? Why aren't they all in jail?
पद्मजा, मुश्किल ये है कि जो लोग इस तरह के जिंदाबाद के नारों पे प्रश्न चिन्ह खड़ा कर रहे हैं, साल दर साल उनकी सरकार पहले पाकिस्तान पंजाब में रही है, उन लोगों ने इन खालिस्तानियों के लिए क्या किया, जिस पे सरकार का समर्थन देने का और लेने का आरोप लगाया जा रहा है, ये लोग कुछ नहीं कर पाए। आज पंजाब एक शांतिपूर्ण रास्ते से जाता हुआ दिखाई दे रही है। सबसे ज्यादा मुश्किल सबसे आप क्या चाहते हैं? आप क्या चाहते हैं? यही तो मैं कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि देश की जनता भी देख ले कि आप दंगा कराना चाहते हैं। आप चाहते हैं कि वहाँ जान माल का नुकसान हो और उसके बाद में बैठ करके आप राजनीति करें। ये नहीं हुआ।
आप क्या चाहते हैं कि पुलिस वाले पिटे? आज तो पिटे, कल को भगवान न करे उनके ऊपर और मर्डरस असॉल्ट हो गया। आप क्या चाहते हैं? आप क्या चाहते हैं कौशिक साहब?
नहीं, मैं सिर्फ यही कह रहा हूं कि सरकार को काम करने दीजिए, कानून को अपना काम करने दीजिए।
कानून ऐसे काम कर रहा है, कानून ऐसे काम कर रहा है। पुलिस स्टेशन को घेर लिया लोगों ने, खालिस्तान जिंदाबाद के स्लोगन्स लग गए, पुलिस स्टेशन की छत पर खड़े होके आदमी तलवार लहरा रहे हैं। ऐसे सरकार काम कर रही है, ऐसे होगा सरकारी काम। कल को भगवान न करे सर, आप तो अमृतपाल सिंह को कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर बनाने की बात कह देंगे, कहेंगे सरकार को अपना काम करने दीजिए। Anyhow, it's been 12 hours. Unfortunately, we've seen images of how a state and its police were forced to kowtow to a separatist. We are being promised that there will be action taken, at least for the sake of the very, very brave Punjab police, whose men were pretty much thrown to the dogs today. Let's hope that the men who assaulted them at least will be put behind bars. When last we heard, this was still a country and a state where the rule of law prevails, not Amritpal Singh. Thanks very much all gentlemen for joining me. Today there was high drama at the Delhi airport after Congress leader Pawan Khera was stopped from boarding a flight to Chhattisgarh. This because of an FIR against him. Actually 3 FIRs against him, 2 in Uttar Pradesh and 1 in Assam, for making derogatory comments against the Prime Minister's father. What followed was a day of high drama, with the Assam police arresting Khera for hurting sentiments and intent of breaching peace. In his support, his party members then staged the dharna on the tarmac of the airport from where he was supposed to take off. Eventually, the Assam police applied for Khera's transit remand, but in an urgent hearing, the Congress leader got interim bail from the Supreme Court. However, this bail did not come before the Congress leader tendered an unconditional apology for comments that his counsel Abhishek Manu Singhvi recognized as inappropriate, inadvertent. In court, the leader also said that the words were objectionable and that he would not stand by the use of such language. Strangely though, despite tendering an unconditional apology inside court, outside court, the same comments were defended as freedom of speech.
इस महान देश की महान लोकतंत्र आराम से और न्यायिक प्रणाली पर, प्रक्रिया पर मुझे पूरा भरोसा है। आज मत मारो, मेरी अभिव्यक्ति की स्वतंत्रता की रक्षा इसी न्याय प्रणाली ने की है, इसको मैं बार बार सलाम करता हूं। आपको अपने जो सच की जो लड़ाई है उस रास्ते में कई बार संघर्ष करने पड़ते हैं। मैं संघर्ष कर रहा हूं, मेरी पूरी पार्टी, मेरे नेता राहुल गांधी जिस तरह से संघर्ष कर रहे हैं, मैं उनकी आवाज और लोकतंत्र की आवाज मजबूत करने में कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ूंगा। As I said, this is a sub judice matter. I will not comment on it at this point. I have absolute faith and confidence in the majesty of the law, in the democracy of my country. It is the same majesty of law which upheld my liberties today.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
RBC national spokesperson, the BJP continues with us. Dushyant Nagar, political analyst, also with us. My first question is to Vivek Bansal, leader of the Congress. Today, the Congress has pretty much accepted, Mr. Bansal, that the comments made about the Prime Minister and his father were quote-unquote objectionable. So what's the defiance for?
There is no defiance. Basically, there is a world of difference between objectionable and non-cognizable offense. I don't think that this was such a statement which warranted an arrest and keeping this thing in view.
Sir, let me quote to you what Mr. Khera's counsel himself said inside the Supreme Court. He said, sir, hold on a second, let me tell you verbatim what he said. He said that the comments made in the press conference at which certain objectionable words were used, Dr. Singhvi said the petitioner has since clarified that the use of the language was inadvertent, though inappropriate, and that he would not stand by the use of such language. Dr. Singhvi says the petitioner tenders an unconditional apology. It's an unconditional apology. Language that he would never stand by. कौन सी अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की बात कर रहे हैं?
He had no option. You see, the way he had been held, the way he had been roughed up and taken by the police and arrested. I don't think that was very civil. I have my doubts that people commit heinous crime in this country.
Right.
And people commit heinous
So you're
crime.
basically saying that he had to bend before dictatorship. RP Singh. He doesn't. He offered the apology because you are dictatorial. RP Singh.
So he should have stood up.
And despite that, after
he should have So this shows how coward they are. He should have stood up by his comment and said in the court that I stand by my freedom of expression or freedom of speech. You want to send me to jail, send me to jail, but I'm not withdrawing back.
I don't think that's very civil.
But it didn't happen that way. And the problem with the Congress is that they don't differentiate between the personal attacks of the politician and getting the parents of the people whom your adversaries into your public domain, in your public slugfest.
Mr. Bansal, here's the thing. You know, there is a reality and there is public posturing. Now let me actually quote to you from what Mr. Bansal.
Can go. I am speaking, and the gentleman who is there from the BJP, he is just chipping in like that. That's not warranted. Let me finish, and I think then he would be having all the time.
Finish your point. But before that, let me ask you question number 2. Hold on a second, sir. Hold on a second. Let me ask you question number 2. Mr. K.C. Venugopal, General Secretary, Organization, has said the following. Shri Khera was arrested on totally baseless charges which were only trumped up because the Prime Minister is scared of being questioned on his relationship with Mr. Gautam Adani. You are calling the charges totally trumped up, Mr. Venugopal. Whereas Pawan Khera himself has accepted in court that this language is inappropriate and you cannot stand by the use of such language. The utterer of the language is saying that this is totally inappropriate. Mr. Venugopal is saying, trumped up charges.
What the accused says in the court, he's advised by his counsel, and in accordance with that, he has to come out with this statement. And the fact that once you are on the court, not that everything which you say is out of your own accord. Just to get out of the shackles of the law, you at times.
So you're saying Mr. Khera lied to get out of jail. To get bail, Mr. Khera lied before the Supreme Court. You're not doing him any favor, sir.
The statement for which he had been hauled up, it is uncalled emergency. This is what a person is going for his political commitment. And the entire team is there, and the police swoops over there on the plane and just takes him out, roughs him up and takes him out of the plane. I don't think that is very civil. And if you ask your conscience that this is a definition of democracy, I'm sorry to say that.
Sir, do you have any evidence to show that he was roughed up? Because unka medical hua hai, and I do not think any such thing has come up in the medical.
Rough up. In medical, these sort of things, they don't come. If you just twist somebody's arm a little bit, or if you just
it does, sir. That is literally the reason. And when you are and by the way, Mr. Bansal, I'm sure you would know it better than I, because you're a very experienced politician, that when you are produced before the court, you have the liberty to tell the court if you have been roughed up / tortured by the police.
Not tortured. Tortured. I didn't use the word tortured. Don't try to put your words into my mouth.
Okay.
What
if
I'm
your
saying,
arm has been twisted, you are present before the Chief Justice. It was a 3-judge bench which included the Chief Justice. What was stopping Mr. Singhvi from saying the Assam police is twisting the arm of my client here, my lord?
This is being roughed up. He is not a criminal or something of this sort. I don't think that this warranted such a treatment for a person. He's a spokesperson of a respectable party.
So, Mr. Bansal, hold on a second. You're saying, so here's the train of logic. The chain of logic is you are saying he tendered an apology, but he didn't mean it. He did it because he didn't want to go to jail. He didn't want to go to jail because he had just been roughed up. He has been roughed up, but he never mentioned it before the court. And no medical test actually showed or proved that he had endured any kind of roughing up.
No. Listen, first of all, what is the definition of roughing up? If you pull somebody by the hand, in your definition, what is it? It is roughing up or not?
Sir, why did he apologize? Okay, let me just ask you a different question. Hold on a second, Mr. RP Singh. Let me bring in Dushyant Nagar. If everything was fine, and he didn't make any mistake, he didn't say anything wrong, तो unconditional apology क्यों दी? You can go to court and you say, and this is the Supreme Court which has held an urgent hearing for you. You can tell the court, sir, कि यहाँ पर emergency लग गई है, मेरी रक्षा कीजिए मिलॉर्ड, मैंने कुछ गलत नहीं किया. आप unconditional apology क्यों दे रहे हैं? ऐसा तो है नहीं कि कोई छोटा मोटा कोर्ट है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट में चीफ जस्टिस बैठे हैं. आप उनसे बोलिए, प्रोटेक्ट माय राइट्स माय लॉर्ड, आई स्टैंड बाय व्हाट आई सेड.
देखिए, जिस प्रकार से बदले की भावना से ये सरकार काम करती है, उससे कुछ भी हो सकता था. आदरणीय पवन खेड़ा जी के जीवन को भी खतरा हो सकता था पुलिस हिरासत में. तो अगर वो बेल के लिए गए तो उसमें कोई गलत नहीं है.
तो आपको सुप्रीम कोर्ट पे ट्रस्ट नहीं है? आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट के बोलते कि सर मेरे जीवन को खतरा है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट विल प्रोटेक्ट योर लाइफ एंड लिम्ब. दुष्यंत जी, आपको सुप्रीम कोर्ट पे भरोसा नहीं है?
बिल्कुल है. अब देखिए, वो तो उनके सम्मानित वकील साहब ने जो निर्णय लिया उसके ऊपर चर्चा नहीं हो सकती. अब जो हो गया सो हो गया. लेकिन मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं,
सम्मानित वकील साहब भी इतने बड़े कांग्रेसी है, मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट.
लेकिन देखिए, लेकिन मैडम, कोर्ट के अंदर की प्रोसीडिंग्स के ऊपर हम लोग यहाँ चर्चा नहीं कर सकते ना. हम तो इसके अन्य पहलुओं के ऊपर चर्चा कर सकते हैं. और चर्चा इस बात की होनी चाहिए कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की एक देवी जी नेत्री, जिन्होंने केंद्र के प्रधानमंत्री को, तत्कालीन प्रधानमंत्री को चूड़ियां भेजने का काम किया.
कोर्ट में जाकर
आप एक बात बताइए, डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह जी को, सरदार मनमोहन सिंह जी को मनमोहन सिंह कहा गया. नरसिम्हा राव जी, जो 19 भाषाओं के ज्ञाता थे, उनके लिए ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग मौनी बाबा कहते थे. इतना बुद्धिमान व्यक्ति आज तक भारतवर्ष में ऐसे काबिल विदेश मंत्री, गृह मंत्री और प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में नरसिम्हा राव जी ने काम किया. उनको अपमानित करने का काम इन्होंने किया.
अगर अपमान हुआ है, आपको बेशक कोर्ट जाना चाहिए था. बट एज अ लास्ट वर्ड, आई ऑल्सो वांट टू आस्क यू RP Singh, fine, an unconditional apology has been tendered, there is an acceptance that this was completely unacceptable, but in political discourse, have we become so thin-skinned that people are going to be arrested? पॉलिटिक्स में तो ये होता है, आप दो चीजें बोलेंगे, आप टीवी पे आके दो चीजें बोलते हैं, किसी को खालिस्तानी बोलेंगे, किसी को कुछ बोलेंगे, वो आपको दो चीजें बोलेगा. अब उसके लिए क्या पॉलिटिकल ओपोनेंट्स को जेल में डाल देंगे? मिस्टर RP Singh.
पद्मजा, यू हैव राइट. सुनिए, आप मुझे 4 गाली निकालिए, मैं आपको निकालूं, या कोई और मेरे को पॉलिटिकल ओपोनेंट मुझे 4 गाली निकाले, ठीक है. परंतु किसी के पिता को लेकर उपहास उड़ाना, टू मॉक Prime Minister's father, is not right. Man, and Prime Minister's father has nothing to do with the politics. They are ashamed of their father's and grandfather's name. We take pride in our parents. When they are ashamed of taking Feroz Jahangir Gandhi's name as their surname now. Okay. We are not. We take pride, and country take pride in parents and father of Prime Minister Modi.
Okay, let's leave everyone's father and grandfather out of it. The simple matter though is that perhaps in political discourse, one, we could introduce more civility and to be a little more open to receiving criticism and not really use the heavy hand of the law. Maybe we will have a very argumentative but also a vibrant democracy that way. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much, all gentlemen, for joining me. Thanks for watching.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.
आ चुका है पोको X5 Pro का बॉक्स टेबल पे। अब इसको जल्दी से करेंगे अनबॉक्स। ब्लैक और येलो कलर का ये बॉक्स है, जो ज्यादातर पोको के स्मार्टफोन पे आपको येलो कलर, जो इसका सिग्नेचर कलर है, वो दिखाई देगा। Sometimes it is really tricky to take the tapes off, so let me try it with my nails. One tape down successfully. Guys, ये जो फीलिंग है ना अनबॉक्स करने वाली, ये काफी ही मजेदार लगती है। जब भी आप कोई नया गैजेट अनबॉक्स करते हैं तो मजा तो आता है। जैसे कि यहाँ देखेंगे, बॉक्स के पीछे की तरफ बहुत सारे डिटेल्स लिखे हैं, बॉक्स के बारे में फीचर्स लिखे हैं, वो दिखाएंगे और उसके बारे में बात करेंगे जब फोन हाथ में आ जाएगा। Inside the box you get this little paper box as well, जिसमें ज्यादातर पेपर वर्क और प्रोटेक्टिव केस ही होता है। Like I said, वही मिला है हमको। यहाँ पर एक छोटा सा मैनुअल टाइप है।
You're watching the News Hour at 10.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today, while addressing the post-budget webinar, said that green energy sources are nothing less than a gold mine for private players. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's personal assistant has been summoned by Enforcement Directorate in Liquorgate investigation. Aam Aadmi Party leader Jasmine Shah also summoned. BJP workers climbed over police barricades as they held a protest march towards Aam Aadmi Party offices, demanding the resignation of Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia in connection with feedback unit alleged snooping case. Times Now has accessed CCTV footage of raids inside conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar's Tihar jail cell. Several items including Gucci slippers found. Big victory for EPS. Supreme Court upholds High Court order to give control of AIADMK to E. Palanisamy.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break. ये क्या?
mm एक्स्ट्रा, लंबा व्हील बेस, सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा जगह। यह है कहानी BMW 3GL की। नमस्ते टाइम्स ड्राइव फैमिली, आई एम क्रांति संभव। वेलकम टू द फर्स्ट ड्राइव रिव्यू ऑफ BMW 3 सीरीज GL यानी ग्रैंड लिमोजीन, जो ऑब्वियसली रेगुलर 3 सीरीज से ज्यादा लंबी है। व्हील बेस के हिसाब से कुछ एक चेंजेस इसमें हुए हैं, तो इस वजह से ये हम वीडियो कर रहे हैं उन चेंजेस के बारे में बताने के लिए, और ये भी जानने के लिए कि जो दावा है कंपनी का सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा आराम का, ज्यादा स्पेस का, वो दावा पूरा हो पा रहा है या नहीं। सो बिफोर आई स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस कार, सबसे पहले टाइम्स ड्राइव के बारे में आपसे बात करता हूं या अपील करता हूं। अभी तक अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कीजिए हमारे चैनल को, और सोशल
You're watching the News Hour at 10.
Telangana High Court has taken supermoto cognizance in the death case of a 5-year-old toddler after he was mauled by stray dogs in Hyderabad. Poster wars are raging in Maharashtra's Mumbai within the NCP. Ajit Pawar's posters projecting him as the next chief minister replaced with those of Supriya Sule. BJP workers in Rangareddy district in Telangana gathered in protest after unidentified people allegedly removed the statue of Shivaji erected by BJP leaders on Shivaji Jayanti. Special PMLA court has sent Virendra Ram, the chief engineer in Rural Development Department, to ED remand for 5 days in money laundering case. Bombay High Court has quashed money laundering case filed by Enforcement Directorate against Jet Airways founder Naresh Goyal and his wife.
हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं मोहुल, who is founder and CEO of Matter. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So Mohul, we've already seen this bike. I still don't know what you guys going to call it right now, but hopefully, we're going to know about it in a couple of months, I believe, and more details that we already know about specifications and what you are offering with this bike. But उसके अलावा कुछ और चीज़ें हैं जिनकी डिटेल्स अभी आनी बाकी हैं. So इस बाइक को लेकर थोड़ा टाइमलाइन, इफ यू कैन एक्सप्लेन किस तरह का टाइमलाइन रहने वाला है एंड कब इसका ऑफिशियली लॉन्च आप करने वाले हैं.
Definitely. So first thing is at the Auto Expo we have also showcased the 6 kilowatt version of the bike. So at launch we had a 5 kilowatt version. Now we also have a 6 kilowatt version of the bike. And in terms of timeline, in the next 30 days we will be giving out the spec variants and pricing to the larger market. We will be opening up bookings for the Matter motorbike this quarter, and deliveries summer में शुरू हो जाने वाली है.
So एक चीज़ जो बहुत ही टेक्नोलॉजी का हूँ इंटरेस्टिंग है इस बाइक के बारे में, इसमें गियर है. इलेक्ट्रिक बाइक होने के साथ साथ इसमें वो आइस वाला आपने एसेंस और बहुत बड़ा एसेंस इसमें बचा के रखा है. सो वो कैसे आपने उस पर काम किया एंड हाउ डिड यू थॉट अबाउट दिस कि ये अगर हम इसमें इंक्लूड कर पाते हैं गियर शिफ्ट वाला पैटर्न, सो वो कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ? वो
So when we in 2019 when we were starting out, we spoke to a lot of consumers कि electric bike क्यों नहीं खरीदते. And in 2019 there were only a handful of players who were giving motorcycles as a product. And what we realized is that motorcycling is emotion driven. You name your bike, you work with it, you control, you become one with your bike. And from there the common theme came.
गया है, जबकि नॉर्मल पोशाक में 8 इंच का स्क्रीन देखने को मिलता है. मॉन्टी कार्लो जो एडिशन है उसमें 10 इंच का है, अब इसमें भी 10 इंच का स्क्रीन देखने को मिलता है. देन पिलोज जो हैं इसमें, ये पिलोज दिए गए हैं फ्रंट पैसेंजर और रियर पैसेंजर्स के लिए, एंड जो इसके मैट हैं वो भी अब 3D मैट इसमें अब पोशाक में एनिवर्सरी एडिशन में स्कोडा इसके साथ दे रही है. एंड फाइनल चेंज जो हुआ है वो है इसका ये की कवर जो देख रहे हैं, ये लेदर टाइप ये कवर इसमें दिया गया है की के साथ, जो इस एनिवर्सरी एडिशन के साथ स्कोडा इसमें दे रही है. बात करूं ऑप्शंस की, इंजन ऑप्शंस की, तो 1 लीटर और 1.5 लीटर दोनों में ही अवेलेबल होने वाली है. टॉप वेरिएंट्स में मैनुअल और ऑटोमेटिक दोनों में ये ऑप्शन एनिवर्सरी एडिशन का स्कोडा दे रही है. प्राइस की बात करें तकरीबन 30,000 प्राइस नॉर्मल पोशाक के मुकाबले इस एनिवर्सरी एडिशन का बदल गया है. 30,000 आपको एक्स्ट्रा नॉर्मल कुशाक के मुकाबले इसके लिए पे करने पड़ेंगे. तो ये है कुछ बदलाव इस स्कोडा कुशाक एनिवर्सरी एडिशन को लेकर. कैसे लगे आपको? चेंजेस रिक्वायर्ड थे या नहीं थे? कमेंट सेक्शन में बताइएगा. वीडियो अच्छा लगा है तो लाइक, शेयर और टाइम्स ड्राइव को फॉलो करना मत भूलिएगा.
The most pressing issue, the most informed minds, free and fair exchange. Converse India with Rahul Shivshankar.
हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टाइम ड्राइव. मैं अंकुर तनेजा और मैं मौजूद हूँ टोयोटा की नई इनोवा हाई क्रॉस के अनवेल इवेंट पर. तो टोयोटा की फाइनली ये हाई क्रॉस देखने को मिल रही है जो कि हाइब्रिड अवतार में टोयोटा लेकर आई है. इनोवा का ही हाइब्रिड अवतार कह सकते हैं. बहुत से बदलाव लेकिन क्रिस्टा के मुकाबले इस नई इनोवा हाई क्रॉस में देखने को मिलते हैं. तो क्या है वो चेंजेस इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिज़ाइन, इन टर्म्स ऑफ फीचर्स एंड ऑल्सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ इंजन ऑप्शंस, उन सभी के बारे में मैं आपसे बात करने वाला हूँ इस वीडियो में. सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिज़ाइन बात करें तो सबसे पहले यहाँ पे एक नया बड़ा ग्रिल जो क्रिस्टा के मुकाबले यहाँ पर देखने को मिल रहा है इस हाई क्रॉस में. तो ये एक नया फेस यहाँ पर इसमें दिया गया है एंड क्रोम का सराउंडिंग्स थ्रू आउट यहाँ देखने को मिल रहा है इसके साइड में. एंड जो हेडलैम्प्स हैं वो LED हैं और पहले से थोड़े स्लीक भी यहाँ देखने को मिल रहे हैं. एंड ड्यूल फंक्शन इसमें DRL और इंडिकेटर यहाँ सेम लाइट में, LED लाइट में देखने को मिलेगा. एंड नीचे देखेंगे तो ब्लैक और वाइट का कॉम्बिनेशन देखने को मिल रहा है। सेंसर्स थ्रू आउट हैं, 360 डिग्री कैमरा इसमें दिया गया है, फ्रंट में आप इसको देख सकते हैं। साइड प्रोफाइल की बात करें तो व्हील्स हैं इसमें जो 18 इंच के दिए गए हैं एंड क्लैडिंग थ्रू आउट यहाँ पे इसमें देखने को मिल रही है। इसके अलावा जो डायमेंशंस हैं वो भी क्रिस्टा के मुकाबले बदली हुई इसकी देखने को मिलती हैं। ये चौड़ाई में ज़्यादा है, लंबाई में क्रिस्टा ज़्यादा है, व्हील बेस इसका इनोवा क्रिस्टा से ज़्यादा देखने को मिलता है, तो ऑब्वियसली अंदर स्पेस भी क्रिस्टा से ज़्यादा इस नई इनोवा हाई क्रॉस में देखने को मिलने वाला है। एंड टर्न इंडिकेटर्स यहाँ इसके साइड मिरर्स में इंटीग्रेटेड है एंड हाइब्रिड की बड़ी सी बैजिंग यहाँ दी गई है। 360 डिग्री कैमरा है, तो यहाँ पर भी इसके मिरर के नीचे और भी हमसे कैमरा देखने को मिल रहा है। जो डोर हैंडल्स हैं वो बॉडी कलर और क्रोम की कॉम्बिनेशन के साथ यहाँ देखने को मिल रहे हैं एंड रूफ रेल यहाँ पर इसमें देखने को नहीं मिल रही, हालांकि इसमें पैनोरामिक सनरूफ दी गई है, अंदर से मैं दिखाऊंगा। एंड यहाँ पे पीछे जाते हुए इसकी 2 क्रीजेस दिखेंगी जो इसकी टेल लाइट से जुड़ती हैं एंड रैप अराउंड LED टेल लाइट्स यहाँ पर इस इनोवा की नई हाई क्रॉस में देखने को मिल रही हैं। ZX वेरिएंट खड़ा है हाइब्रिड वाला, जो कि इसका टॉप वेरिएंट है। एक ऑप्शनल का भी इसमें वेरिएंट टोयोटा ऑफर कर रही है इस इनोवा हाई क्रॉस में। सेंसर्स थ्रू आउट यहाँ देखने को मिल रहे हैं एंड ब्लैक एलिमेंट का इस्तेमाल इसके बम्पर में यहाँ भी करा गया है एंड पियानो ब्लैक एलिमेंट इसके इस स्पॉइलर में इधर देखने को मिल रहा है, जो कि बॉडी कलर और ब्लैक के कॉम्बिनेशन में यहाँ पे इसमें दिया गया है। एक नया एडिशनल फीचर जो इसमें अब मिल रहा है, सो नाउ दिस न्यू इनोवा हाई क्रॉस कम्स विद एन इलेक्ट्रिक टेल गेट, जो कि सेगमेंट फर्स्ट फीचर यहाँ पर इसमें देखने को मिलता है। एंड कुछ इस तरह से तीनों रो अगर आप हैं तो कुछ इतना स्पेस, एग्जैक्ट नंबर टोयोटा ने अभी बताया नहीं है, बट डिसेंट स्पेस है, बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं कहूँगा, बट यहाँ पे कुछ इस तरह स्पेस देखने को मिलता है। थोड़ा बहुत सामान यहाँ पे भी रख सकते हैं। ये कुछ मामला है इसकी बूट स्पेस और इस इलेक्ट्रिक टेल गेट का। सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ डायमेंशंस यस बदली है पहले से क्रिस्टा के मुकाबले। डायमेंशंस में ये ज़्यादा वाइडर है, ज़्यादा लॉन्गर है, व्हील बेस ज़्यादा है, हाइट ऑलमोस्ट दोनों की सेम है, बट कुछ ये इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिज़ाइन यहाँ पर बदलाव देखने को मिलते हैं। नाउ लेट्स गो इनसाइड एंड फीचर्स का मामला कैसा है, लेट्स गो एंड चेक दैट आउट। नाउ लेट्स सिट इनसाइड और अंदर फीचर्स का मामला क्या है यहाँ पे देखते हैं। पावर्ड सीट्स यहाँ देखने को मिल रही हैं एंड आई थिंक यहाँ पे भी इसमें मैनुअल दिया गया है लेफ्ट साइड में एंड गियर बॉक्स यहाँ पे अब इसका डैशबोर्ड वाले कंसोल में देखने को मिल रहा है, जो पहले यहाँ पे यानी पहले क्या अभी भी क्रिस्टा में जो देखने को मिलता है सेंटर में। इसके अलावा ये चार्जिंग पॉइंट्स दिए गए हैं, USB-C USB-A चार्जिंग पॉइंट है एंड यहाँ पे PRND एंड एक्सपोज मोड भी इसमें दिया गया है। EV मोड का अलग से फिजिकल बटन है, ट्रैक्शन ऑन ऑफ, ड्राइव मोड चेंज करने का ऑप्शन दिया गया है। यहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक पार्किंग ब्रेक, 360 व्यू कैमरा का एक अलग से बटन दिया गया, फिजिकल बटन, AC कंट्रोल्स देखने को मिल रहे हैं एंड यहाँ पर इसका ये 10.1 इंच का इंफोटेनमेंट सिस्टम टच स्क्रीन देखने को मिल रहा है, जो कि JBL का है। स्पीकर्स भी अब इसमें JBL के इनोवा के साथ हाई क्रॉस के साथ देखने को मिलते हैं। देन फिजिकल बटन अलग से वॉल्यूम वगैरह पावर के यहाँ पे नीचे देखने को मिल रहे हैं।